Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I'm your host, Jim. Let's cue the intro.
Don't know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. You feel your heartbeat. You feel somewhere you're looking good. You feel your heartbeat. You feel somewhere you're looking good.
Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you are well. Hope you have had a great day. Monday's always a bit depressing, isn't they? It is what it is. I am joined by someone that's quite, well, he's a regular now on here. You know, you've seen him before. The man, the myth himself. Man like Alex. Alex, how you doing, my man? You all right?
I'm doing very good. Thank you very much. Hope everyone's doing all right in the comments below. Hope everyone's having a good day.
Well, the first comment that came up was Bruno over KDB. Straight away from a Manchester fan. Best fielder in the world right now. Mason Mount says quick gooner. Jake McAllister's in the house as well. Big up to Jake McAllister as well. I hope you are all well. Please smash the like button. Please subscribe if you're new here as well. And please share. Please share this content out as well, people. We'd appreciate it massively. We're going to delve into... We're going to talk about the European games. We're not only going to talk about the Champions League, but we're going to talk about Europa League as well. We're also going to... later on in the show, drop a link as well. You can come and have your say. If you've got any questions for Alex directly to do with the Champions League, Europa League, have a chat about your team specifically, then we'll be doing that as well. Please smash the like button, people. The more we smash it, the more it gets out there as well. So appreciate it. I want to try and make this a big show tonight. Man like Alex, how you been anyway, my man? You good?
I'm doing good. Just waiting. I didn't watch Boris's breakdown today, but It sounded positive. I think I've got my holiday in June. Might be able to get on it. We'll see.
Where are you going? Anywhere nice? Or?
House in Menorca. So if I can get there, if I'm not allowed to fly, I'll swim.
Yeah, why not? Do you know what I mean? I'm meant to be going Centre Parks in mid-May, so it might be all right with that because it's not abroad, so we'll just have to see what happens with that. I'm going to zoom in on this as well. Alex, we're going to start off with the Europa League. Champions League we're going to save to last. Always save the best for last, as they say, you know, the biggest and the best European trophy going. Obviously the games have been played already. Tottenham are 4-1 up against Wolfsburg. Do you see any upsets, or do you think it'll be straightforward for them now for a...
I think it'll be straightforward. I think Wolfsburg are a very, very weak team. I think Tottenham will breeze through it. I think in the Europa League, this round of 32, it's more simple bit. But it'll be interesting to see which teams get matched up after this. And you've still got the tighter breakdowns, what we'll get into though. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. For me, I don't see anything other than a Tottenham win, to be honest. I mean, they're in absolutely crap form at the moment. They're really not performing under Jose Mourinho. Can't seem to get the best out of them. Do you see them as I mean, do you see them being able to compete and actually get into the semi/finals, or do you think they'll fall out quite early?
I think Mourinho is more suited to tournament football because he likes to be so pragmatic, and it takes just a pragmatic manager to beat him. Remember, there's a good story about him v Rafa Benitez. I'm not sure you're a long-term Chelsea fan. It was like back in 2005 when Liverpool won the UCL, and their game was just them giving tactical instructions to their players to counteract each other, and it was the most boring game of football on the planet. But I think Mourinho's style will help him go deep into this competition. Although I think the opponent's going to get onto, this is probably the toughest Europa League I've seen for a really, really long time.
Yeah, I agree, my man. I do agree on that. To be honest, I think Spurs will win. Viewers, please smash the like button. Also, please give us your views on the score lines. Let us know what you think the scores will be on the games that we're obviously highlighting. I'm going to go with a 3-0 comfortable win for Spurs. Alex, anything? What do you think, man?
I'll probably match that. It's just going to be a simple Tottenham victory, this one. Nothing, no upsets here.
Yeah, I agree as well. I do agree with you. So we move on from these guys, and we move on to Ajax and Lille. Obviously, everyone's everyone thought Ajax it would be a walk in the park for Ajax, but Lille were playing very well. And obviously, you touch on you're very interested in the French league anyway, Alex. So, do you see an upset anywhere here with Lille coming back into this game? Or not?
I'm a Lille fan, mate. The closest I've ever been to a fan is Lille. This is the one. It'd brilliant if we spend 25 minutes on this game, because this is the only Europa League match I've watched, so I know all about this one. But no, I keep it short in terms of Lille. Ajax did win the first leg a lot more comfortably than people expected. Lille probably want to focus on Ligue 1, but I think if Ajax go through here, I think they'll be quite easy pickings. If Lille pick their form up and they get into the quarterfinals, they're a team, well, round of 16 rather, they're going to be a team that could beat anyone. And I mean, Man United, Arsenal, they've done well against teams like PSG this season. Lille could be a really tough fixture. They play a bit like Athletico, who we'll get onto later, counter-attacking football, sitting back in a 4-4-2, but with some really talented players. And they've got a bit of a hill to climb at Ajax, a 2-1 down, but it'll be interesting. Definitely keep an eye on these two teams, and whichever one wins, you don't want to be facing in the next round. You want them to go out as soon as possible. Yeah,
no, I hear you. I mean, I've not seen much of Ajax or Lille, to be honest. Little bits of Ajax, to be fair, in the Champions League, to be fair, and they seem to just lack like a cutting edge in front of goal. I don't know why. Every time, I mean, was it Liverpool they played recently in the group stages? It wasn't it? I think. Yeah, and they lacked it. I mean, I ain't seen much of Lille, but I've heard Lille are playing very, very well at the moment, and so for me, I'm going to go with I think Lille might win it. I think Lille might surprise it. I'm going to go with Lille. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Lille. What'd you say, Alex?
I'm going to go 2-1. I think it might go down to extra time. It's a close game. But you're right about Ajax. Ajax are experiencing quite a down year. So I think anyone who gets Ajax in the next round will be an easier tie than you might suspect.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I do hear you on that one. Napoli and Granada. We'll keep it short and sweet. Napoli are just not the same anymore, are they themselves? They're 2-0 behind against Granada already. Lost away 2-0. Do you see a Napoli win, Granada win? What are you going with, mate?
I'm not too sure. I know Gattuso's under quite a lot of pressure at the moment, and he started the season really well, Napoli. Everyone expects him to have quite a poor time, but they were top of the league for a while. But being 2-0 down to Granada, Granada, though, I think. Oh, it might be. I think they went into the Europa League last season. Might be mixing them up with Getafe and did okay, but Napoli certainly have the firepower. It's hard to predict this one though. Maybe Napoli could come back, but at the same time, Granada will probably be able to sit back a deep block, and it doesn't seem like things are rosy in Napoli.
No.
So I think it could be difficult.
What score are you going for, mate? 2? You think they can get back in this, or do you think they're going out?
Let's go with a wild prediction. We'll say 1-0 Napoli and they go out.
All right, cool. I'm going to go over 2-2 and then it'll go extra time, won't it? Does it go extra time? I'm sure it does. It'll go extra time and it'll go to penalties. And then I think Napoli will win on penalties. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for a wild one. We won't go because there's so many of these games. We won't go through all of them. But Shakhtar Donetsk versus Tel Aviv. Again, Shakhtar Donetsk are ahead of them 2-0. I mean, again, it looks pretty straightforward. I'd probably say a 2-0 win again for them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I didn't watch that game. I won't claim to know much about them.
It's hard to talk about certain individuals, isn't it, when you don't watch them too much. But a team that is playing very well, Rangers. Rangers under Steven Gerrard are looking on fire against the Antwerp team, which, well, they just about turned around, didn't they? 4-3. They're ahead on this one. Think Rangers will do the job?
I think so. Rangers have been really good this season, but I mean, you're going to be plucking the wildest aspects of my footballing brain here. Antwerp are a side which they might do well in this game, but I do think they're going to go out to Rangers. But they're a team you should remember you should remember at the moment, because in a few years they're probably going to rise up. Belgian team that are getting a lot of money pumped behind them at the moment, and they're putting together a really nice sporting project. Actually managed to speak to one of their coaches quite recently, and they're an interesting team to definitely keep an eye out for in the future. But Rangers should see through them this time.
Yeah, I think Rangers will win as well. I think they'll win. Probably, I think Antwerp will score because they're quite good, Antwerp, aren't they? They're not too bad. So I'd probably say like a 2-2, but then Rangers go through. That's what I'm thinking. We have to see. Marlon says 2-2 as well. Ads is in the house. Big up to Ads as well as in the chat. Hope he is all well. We move on swiftly after that onto an interesting one. Arsenal versus Benfica. For me, Arsenal dominated them in the first game away. Alex, what are you saying about this one?
See, this is difficult because obviously Mikel Arteta's only experience in the Europa League was last season when they got knocked out by Olympiacos, who aren't exactly the most talented of teams.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Benfica, last season I think they were doing ridiculously well. Like by ridiculous, I'm pretty sure they conceded something like 4 goals inside 16 matches or something absolutely astronomical. But this season they've dropped off. Sporting Lisbon are winning the Portuguese league. Same with Porto, Benfica and Porto are dropping off. So I think, just as you was touching on, Arsenal look good in the first leg. I managed to catch a bit of this match. And I think Arsenal are going to see it through against Benfica. Benfica haven't quite got things together. And they have a lot of interesting players. Remember that guy Everton who was meant to be moving to the Premier League club a few years ago? He's moved to Benfica.
Yeah.
Hasn't really taken off. So I think Arsenal are going to place Benfica aside this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go over. I think Arsenal will win as well. I think they'll move on. Do you think Arsenal have got any chance of getting to the semis/finals, or do you think there's just too many better teams in them, or do you think it depends who they get on the way, sort of thing?
I think it depends on form, right? If Aubameyang picks up his form, I heard someone say earlier in a YouTube video, if Aubameyang had the scoring form he had last season, this season, Arsenal could be chasing top 4, top 6. But depends how they pick themselves up, I think. They've definitely got the players to get there, but also if you see someone like Nicolas Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette, or Martin Odegaard get injured, then they could be in trouble. But there's no reason the way they can't get to the final, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Man Uniteds, there's the Villarreals, there's the Hoffenheims. There's some very good teams in there actually as well. Salzburg's, Milan, Leicester. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to go with an Arsenal 2-0 though. I think Arsenal got too much for Benfica. I wasn't really impressed with Benfica, to be fair. But one team that has impressed me is Hoffenheim. Alex, 3-0 at the moment. What are we saying? Do you think Hoffenheim can beat Molde?
This is going to be the toughest to call because Hoffenheim are inconsistent at best. In the Bundesliga, I'll tell you what, I remember watching them recently, actually. I think might have been against Hertha Berlin or someone, and it was one of the worst games of football I've ever watched in my life. And I think at the other end, City were winning 4-0 against some team that I could have watched, and I was really depressed that evening. But Hoffenheim against Molde, I think, again, whichever team comes out here will be quite an easy one to sweep aside. Hoffenheim have some nice players. If anyone manages to watch the highlights of this tie, keep an eye out for Gianni Samaseku. He's a good player. Will probably go to the Premier League soon. But hard to call this one. But I do think whatever happens, neither of these teams will make it past the round of 16. Yeah,
I think Hoffenheim they score goals, Hoffenheim, but like you said, they're very leaky. So for me, I'm going to go over. I think Hoffenheim are going to do it. They're at home. I'm going to go over 2-1. I'm going to go over 2-1 for them. We have got Villarreal versus Salzburg. Wow. 2-0 Villarreal at the moment. They're steamrolling ahead, aren't they, really? What are we saying about this one, mate?
Villarreal will probably go through. Salzburg have a well-noted terrible record in Europe. They rarely get past the latter stages. And apart from 2017, they almost made it to the final. But I think this will be a season they get swept aside by a better team. And I haven't watched Villarreal too much this season, but I know Salzburg well enough to know they're probably not going to make it past this round.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that one. I'm going to go over Villarreal win. I think they're better equipped than them, to be fair. And I only see one victory on this one. So Villarreal for me again for a 2-0. Obviously, we're going to move on to Leicester. Leicester. I mean, Leicester are a funny one because they're playing so well in the Premier League at the moment, aren't they? It's a tough one to sort of predict. But what would you say about this one?
It's going to be a fun game. I know West Ham fans have been loving this one. Their second team playing against Leicester with Souček and Seufeld coming from there. Yeah. To be honest, Leicester, they're kind of in a similar position to Lille in terms of they're chasing a really high domestic finish, and you think maybe they are. Obviously, it's 0-0 at the moment. You wonder how much effort they're going to put into sweeping aside this team. Obviously, Slavia Prague, they're a bit lower down in terms of pedigree and quality. But we saw with I saw with Lille last week. I predicted them on paper they're by far the better team than Ajax, or the better teams in the competition. But if you've got that other focus like Leicester have on the Premier League or on your domestic league, you're going to put less effort into this, and that could see Leicester get an upset. But it'll be interesting to see. I do think Leicester as well, their home form this season is not that good. Away from home in the Premier League, they've won 9 games, but at home it's a bit more balanced. So maybe they have that going for them.
Yeah, I think Leicester are. I think they're good. I think Leicester are organised. They're playing very well. They're hard to break down. I see them putting away Slavia Prague to be Praha anyway. To be fair, especially at home, I think it's going to be a 2-3-0 win. I don't see anything less than that. I think they're well equipped as well. Ads is with us as well. Ads, do you think Leicester will win this game?
Yeah, man, they should. To be honest with you, I think they will go far in this tournament anyway. I think they're just a well-structured team. Defense and attack is very strong. The midfield as well. I know they have players missing at the moment, but that ain't gonna stop them. I think they should beat this team about 2-0.
I hear you. People, please smash that like button. Let's try and get to 30 likes, people. Please can we also share on your socials as well? It would be much appreciated as well as we continue to grow in the GNA TV community. Also, please, if you're new here, please subscribe. It'd be nice to have you along the journey with us. We're creating so much content at the moment. It's mad. So, yeah, we'd appreciate your support as always, guys. Big up to Chelsea fan as well, who says big up to everyone in the chat room. We move on swiftly after this game, and we have now got AC Milan against Crevenza. Is it Crevenza Vesta? They're 2-2 at the moment. Alex, again, AC Milan should be winning this, shouldn't they? Really,
they should be. The only thing to counteract this, I guess, is they lost. I'm pretty sure they lost a Milan derby at the weekend, and for what I made of it, they lost it quite an embarrassing format in some senses. So maybe that's not their mentality, but this should be an easy game for them to sweep aside probably low opposition, even after that 2-2 first leg. It's at the San Siro, so they probably should win this one.
Big up to Gio, who is an AC Milan fan. He's in the house. He said, we have hit a bad run of form. I just want to win no matter how we get it. Yeah, and I think, Gio, I think it's just one of them ones where AC Milan need a trophy, mate, didn't they? You yourself are an AC Milan fan. You know, it's been a very long time for someone as big as AC Milan with the history that they've got as a club as well. So I expect them to win. I think, again, they're going to win 2-3-0. Ads, do you feel the same as well?
Yeah, man, I think they will definitely win. They're definitely a team that can bounce back. So I think they'll win.
Think the win. Okay, cool. Igal's in the chat as well. Big up to Igal. Igal, we have said that Arsenal will beat Benfica, just so that you can hear it right here and now. Everyone here has said, I've said 2-0 anyway. I've said 2-3-0. I think you've got much more than them. I think you're better than them. And you should have beat them away, to be honest. Igal, if you want the link, just message me in the chat and I'll send you the link, bro. You can always come in as well. We're going to talk Champions League soon. We will open up the lines later on. Keep getting your score predictions in, people, as well as we go along. So let's move on. Let's move on. Club Brugge. I'm going to let Alex talk about this one quickly. Obviously, they're drawing 1-0 at home. Alex, Club Brugge.
I follow him quite closely. I know you do. Yeah.
I know you do. Yeah.
They've got they were really unlucky not to get through to the round of 16 of the Champions League. They're really unlucky. It came down to the final day, I think. So they're definitely an outside shot in this competition. Dynamo Kiev, I've not looked at too closely. I think they've got Victor Tiengov, who might be at Donetsk, that wonder kid that always gets banned about on FIFA and Football Manager. But Bruges are a team to look out for. And if you want any specific players to look out for, look at Noah Lang, who's a player who's on loan from Ajax. Oh, might have moved from Ajax, actually. Having a good season. Interesting winger. And they've got the legendary Bas Dost up front. And if you're a Premier League team and you come across him and he scores against you, then you're going to be mean to death. But definitely keep an eye on Bruges this season.
Yeah, no worries. Big up to Igal as well. No worries, Mudgy. Who's in the chats. Yeah, again, I don't watch much of Club Brugge. I don't really know much really with these teams, but I'm gonna go on I'm gonna go over Club Brugge win just to back Alex, because Alex follows them strongly as well. I'm sure Ads, you agree as well, didn't you? Club Brugge over Dynamo Kiev.
Yeah, man. No, like I said in one of our Gem and Ad shows, I said that I have a soft spot for Club Brugge because one of my some of my family members in Tanzania support them, especially my dad's mum. And I think they're a good team. They're well structured. We've beaten them before, but at the same time, they gave us a little bit of a challenge in the first game, and they tend to do this a lot. So I think they'll win that game, to be honest.
Man United beats Real Sociedad. Now, this is a surprising score for me. 4-0 Man United dealt with them massively. Alex, I mean, it's only going to go one way, innit? But are you surprised how well Man United played and how many goals they scored against them?
Yeah, because Sociedad have been having quite a good season. And it's interesting to see how they got swept away so easily. And it's a bit of a shame Mikel Oyarzabal didn't get much time to shine, it seems. The winger who's having a really good season in La Liga. I tell you what, it does feel like at the moment we're kind of seeing La Liga kind of fall. Like Barcelona losing, Real Madrid lose this week. Sociedad got battered pretty much. So we're seeing some of the titans of old begin to fall. It's interesting to look at. Yeah,
I hear you. Ads, your team?
Yeah, man. No, listen, I'll be real with you right now because everyone knows I try to be as real as possible. The reason why we won that game is because we took our chances and they didn't. And that's why we beat them by a large amount. But no, man, I think the reason why I exceeded is because like I said, we're just a better team and they're not, and EPO is our level. But yeah, man, I think we'll likely just give them a 1-0 or 2-0 in that game.
I hear you. I think they're going to win 3-0, Man United. I think they'll win quite comfortably as well. And I can see them going quite far. I mean, do we all think Man United can make semis/finals? I mean, they struggle to get past the semis. There's like an Ollie barrier at the moment, just that's stopping them from getting there. But they should make it that far. Do you think I think they're favourites to win it. Would you agree, Alex, in many ways?
Yeah, I think so. Considering a lot of the players, a fair amount of the players who've won it before, right? They're still at the club. And I think that does create a bit of an effect. I think Ads will probably have a better answer on that if it's the same sort of players. But once you've won it recently, you can win. It makes it easier the next time. We saw that at Real Madrid in the Champions League. So I think United are definitely the favourites.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Man like Ladimus is also here as well to join us. Ladimus Prime. Laddie, you there?
Yeah, I keep talking. Yeah, I'm here.
Manchester United versus Sociedad. Do you predict anything less other than a Man United win?
I don't know. Yeah, you'll beat them. It'll be a tough game, but you should have enough to get through. Actually, you guys already battered them in the first leg anyway. Yeah, well, this result doesn't matter. I think you guys would lose this game, this second leg, but you'll still get through because the result doesn't matter in the second leg anyway.
Well, they're 4-0 ahead, didn't they? So I don't really expect anything less, to be honest.
I think they'll lose like 2-1 or 2-0, but they're still going through, so it doesn't really matter.
Do you think they'll rest some players then? Do you think they won't play?
I think they'll rotate and rest a lot. And plus, it's a fact of they're already through, so the mentality won't be there to win the game.
Yeah. No, that's true as well. I agree with that massively. Cool. Who we got next? We have got Roma, who are playing Braga. I think they were beating them 2-0, weren't they? If I'm right. Yeah, 2-0 at the moment. Alex, Roma, again, can you see them winning this and moving forward?
They're having a bit of a... Every time I look at Roma, I think they should be doing terribly. Their squad, if you was to combine the age of their squad, it's probably about 1,000. They've got Mkhitaryan still there, Dzeko. They should be losing, but they just keep winning. But I guess with that experience, means they can do some things, but I personally think they're going to get called out sooner or later. They might breeze past Braga, but an Arsenal or an Ajax or United will breeze them aside.
Yeah, I think Roma will, I don't say get far. I think they'll make the quarters, but then it just depends who you get and how blessed you are in terms of the teams that you're up against. But Prime, Roma, you see them getting far?
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah, they'll win 3-1.
3-1. Do you think they can make it to the semi-final?
No, I don't. They don't have any. Because you're right. There's a lot of experience in that team, but they're all aging.
Mm.
I don't think they've got. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I don't think they have that quality that you have with players who are young or in their prime.
Yeah,
Because they're all kind of past it. It'll be a thing of they're
Yeah.
in the semi-final and they have to go up against Bayern Munich or Atletico Madrid or Real or something. They'll get beaten.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go with a Real Madrid win. I think Roma win. I think Roma are going to win probably 2-0 again. I think Braga, I mean, I agree with Alex. They've got an abundance of experience. So, I can only see a 2-0 win with them as well. And I think they will progress. This was quite a good game, a tasty game. Leverkusen versus Young Boys. Leverkusen are losing at the moment. I do think they might be able to turn it around. But Alex, what do you think, mate?
Leverkusen are a bit like we mentioned Hoffenheim before. They're more. They score a lot of goals and they concede a lot of goals. Leverkusen are a really fun team to watch. And if anyone gets any spare time to watch the highlights or even the match, it will definitely be worth it. Leon Bailey and Moussa Diaby. Moussa Diaby is a player who I think is going to be one of the best in the world too. Really, really good winger. I think Leverkusen will win this just about. I mean, they've not got off to the best of starts, but whatever happens, it will be entertaining. And I think that leaky defence is what's going to hold them back. But their defence is young, and over the next few years, it's really going to improve. And I think Leverkusen are a team you should watch out for. Potentially, in a couple of years, they'll be competing for the Bundesliga. So keep an eye on Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, a very good attacking team as well. Prime, who are you going with?
Leverkusen, Young Boys. Leverkusen will get through, but Young Boys are an interesting team, actually. They seem they'll get to the last 16 or even in their group stage and they'll face one of the big boys, but they'll end up getting a result out of them.
Yeah.
So I think Leverkusen should still get through and beat them, but it'll be a very good game. It'll be close.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Leverkusen. I think Young Boys will score, but I think Leverkusen will win 3-1. I think it'll be tight. I'm going to go with Leverkusen win 3-1. I'm not going to bore you to death with Krasnodar and Dinamo Zagreb, but Dinamo Zagreb are winning. Dynamo Zagreb are winning 3-2 against Krasnodar at the moment. Alex, again, do you think that'll be the case?
Yeah, Zagreb are a team. I mean, if anyone ever wants to learn about Zagreb, they're quite interesting. It's where basically every Croatian player comes from. So
yeah,
that's about the most interesting thing about them for this tie.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I agree as well. And Prime, I'm assuming you agree as well, didn't you? Zagreb over Krasnodar?
Zagreb. Yeah, I don't know enough. Well, Krasnodar were in our group, aren't they? I don't know enough about either team.
No, do I.
But Zagreb is, from what I know about Zagreb always being in the Champions League, they are better. So yeah, they should get through.
Last game, PSV Eindhoven versus Olympiacos. Olympiacos have got a 4-2 lead against them going into the second leg. Alex, what are you saying?
This is a tough one because PSV, for a bit of context, anyone who knows European football will know of the manager called Roger Schmidt. A really interesting manager. He's at PSV, German guy, and he's not having the best of times in the Eredivisie in his first season. But they like to play high-pressing football. And Olympiacos, as we saw against Arsenal last year, they like to sit deep, and they've got a really, really good coach. I think his name is Pedro Martins or something like that. Really interesting coach will probably be somewhere good soon. But this tie it's going to be excitement beat boredom. And I hope in the excitement team, which is PSV, go through. Obviously, you got Donyell Marlon, Cody Gakpo, and Noni Makuede, who's like a 17-year-old English lad who's really promising. I hope PSV go through, but they're 4-2 down. And I watched this game, or at least the highlights of it, and the extended highlights, and they were really so open at the back, man. I hope for Dutch football and I hope for PSV they get through this, but Olympiacos are kind of the villain in this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if they ease it through 0-0.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with a PSV. I think PSV will win on the night, but I think Olympiacos will go through. I don't think PSV will have enough to get back into this prime.
I mean, Olympiacos are they're my second team after
Ooh.
last year. But no, yeah, I mean, it's 4-2 anyway. If they score an away goal, the tie is dead. So Olympiacos will go through.
Fair enough. And that's your Europa League games for for the second leg. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to the big one now. We're going to talk about the Champions League, people. Please smash the like button before we move on any forward. We need to get to 30 likes. Let's get to 30 likes, because at the end of us talking, we're then going to drop the link. And I can't drop the link unless we've got the likes. So let's get the likes up. Yeah, let's keep sharing. Let's try and build up an audience. And we will allow you to come in and have your say.
You know what? Forget about watching the video. Get the likes up if you want to get the link for Jam's OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. If you want my only... I'll give it out, Prime. You had to say it, didn't you? You had to say it.
Hey, look, people aren't here for the video. They're just here for the
OnlyFans. Champions League. Obviously, there's been games that have been played already, but we'll run through them very quickly. Leipzig, Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool got a 2-0 lead at the moment, going into the second leg next week. Alex, did that really surprise you?
Not really. Leipzig are a bit... They're a little overrated here, because we hear about Julian Nagelsmann, this amazing manager, and in reality, they're really inconsistent. So I think Liverpool are actually going to breeze them aside, despite the fact they've got half their squad on a stretcher. I still think Liverpool will ease this one.
Yes, I agree as well. I think Liverpool will win at home comfortably. I think they'll go for it, Leipzig. I think that's in their nature. They only know how to... It's a bit like Leeds, I think, where they just only know one way to play, which is just get in your face and attack. But I think Liverpool will just pick them off again. And I think they will score, RB, but it's just stopping Liverpool scoring. And you see what happened to the likes of people like Upamecano, who are supposedly top quality defenders. They got made look like Titus Bramble in the last game. So it is what it is. But Prime, what are you saying?
Liverpool will get knocked out.
Oh,
I'll be honest. Liverpool didn't play well in that game. It was only the fact of Leipzig played a high line and there were a few individual errors, or a couple of individual errors. I don't think Liverpool played that well. I think, and maybe a bit of my bias in Julian Nagelsmann is coming through. But if he makes the only tweak he needs to make in the second leg is don't play with the high line. So, yeah. And I think they'll come through. It's at Anfield, so Liverpool will have to come out really, and I think Leipzig can hit them on a counter-attack.
Ooh, okay, fair enough, Ryan. That's a big statement. So you think that Leipzig are gonna score 3 goals and stop Liverpool from scoring, or do you think Liverpool are gonna score and Leipzig are just gonna outscore?
I think it'll be like 5-2 or something like that. It'll be a high-scoring game. I think the way Leipzig play and their intensity. Yeah, I think it'll be just too much for them to handle. As long as they play smart.
Barcelona PSG, Alex, what a game, eh? I think PSG kind of summed up Barcelona and their downfall. They're declining as a club, aren't they? They're just not the same, and the onus on Lionel Messi is just becoming too big at the moment. And you got the new upcoming rising star, the new replacement of the Messi and Ronaldo's in Kylian Mbappe with his hat-trick, which is an awesome game, absolutely awesome game. But who do you think is going to go through? But do you see PSG actually being contenders this year?
No, I think they got lucky against. They've got lucky that they're facing Barcelona, because Barcelona, despite their reputation, they're not a team that was ever going to win it this season. They're just all over the place. And PSG have been inconsistent. They beat Barcelona, and then they went at the weekend and lost to Monaco. Now, Monaco are a decent team, but Pochettino's PSG have not actually been that great. And I think they will get through this tie. But with the other teams of competition, I think there's other teams like Manchester City, etc. I know City do bottle it every year, but even though there's Mbappe, even though there's Neymar, I don't think PSG have what it takes this year. And I'll probably be proven wrong by that. They'll probably make it their first time they win. But don't base your thoughts off PSG just off against Barcelona, who, as you mentioned, are very hopeless at the moment, I would say.
Yeah, I hear you, Prime. What are you saying? Messi. What's happened to Messi, man? The man that you do not rate. He seems to be getting old.
Well, obviously it's expected. The biggest mistake Barcelona have made is when they allowed Neymar to leave, because he was supposed to be their future, and they just continued building around Messi instead of being realistic and thinking about Barcelona's progress and their own future. You're right about PSG and how in the big stages they tend to bottle it. However, this game is already wrapped up. I'd be surprised if Barcelona can pull off some sort of a comeback. Messi seems to be done, which might be a bit shocking to say. He's still a quality player. He's still probably one of the best in the world. But in terms of his level and his standard, being able to just rip. If this was the Messi of old, he'd be able to go into the second leg and single-handedly beat PSG 4-5-0. But he can't do that anymore. And they don't have the adequate team around him to protect against that, I guess. So, yeah, I can see 3-0, 2-0, PSG.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. I think PSG are well ahead. I don't see Barcelona doing what they did. It was the other way around, wasn't it? Where they played each other and it was like that high scoring game. It was mad.
6-2,
Remember it?
yeah.
But no, I don't see Barcelona get back in this. They might score a goal or two, but I just don't see how you contain the Mbappe's. I don't even know if Neymar's back as well or not. So
also, can I just say, the biggest hindrance for PSG this season, if they want to win the Champions League, will be Neymar. I think they play a lot better without Neymar in the team. And if Neymar comes back, that will disrupt their flow because everything has to go through Neymar. And you saw in the final itself, Neymar doesn't turn up. When Neymar doesn't turn up and they just can't win.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Johnny's in the house. Big up to Johnny. Johnny's in the house, my guy. Yeah, I agree. I think PSG have got too much for him, and I think they will move on quite comfortably. Whether or not they can actually win it, I think it's up in the air, the Champions League this season. I don't think there's any outstanding team barring Bayern Munich. Another mad game in Dortmund and Sevilla. I mean, Dortmund were cruising at one point. Obviously, Haaland with his 2 goals and Dahoud, and then Suso and Luke de Jong scored. I mean, Alex, again, could this go anyway?
Yeah, it can. Dortmund, the 1 minute they'll win, next minute they'll lose. Horrendously inconsistent this season. That was even before and after Lucien Favre got sacked. Of course, they've got Haaland, who, I mean, if anyone had the pleasure of watching his goal at the weekend, what a finish. He can still do anything. He could win this tie by himself. Yeah, but Dortmund, you just don't know with them. You just don't know. If I was a betting man, I'd stay away from this one because Sevilla, they've got decent pedigree in knockout rounds. They won the Europa League last season. I just don't know with this one. I just don't know.
Prime?
Dortmund will get knocked out. I think it'll be a close game again.
Yeah.
But I think it's weird. But Dortmund's big weakness is that aerial threat, and if Sevilla can use that to their advantage, because they didn't really do that in the first leg. If they can use it to their advantage from the off, I think that's how you exploit and beat Dortmund. And yeah, Dortmund will always score because they have Sancho and Haaland. But as long as you can outscore them, it's fine.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm going to go with a Dortmund win. I think Dortmund at home, I think they might have too much to Sevilla. I think Sevilla will score, but I just got a feeling that Dortmund would do this. One of the games that surprised me massively was the Porto-Juventus game. I actually betted on Porto to score 2 or more goals in that game, and they did as well. The only game that let me down out of all of them games was, who was it? I don't think it was any of the Champions League ones. I think it was like a championship team that lost me. I could have made like $2,000. I was so pissed off.
What did Arsenal lose?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Arsenal. I can't remember who it was, but someone let me down on it. But Porto 2, Juventus 1. Juventus at home. Alex, do you see him getting back into this?
I don't actually. I think Juventus are suffering Frank Lampard syndrome. They've hired a manager with no experience and expected him to do miracles, which he's not capable yet. And that's not a knock on Pirlo. I've read the guy's autobiography. He's a really intelligent man, but He's not got the experience to put together a team, which, by the way, are quite dysfunctional at the moment. Whereas Porto, the opposite, they're extremely functional. In this game, I watched, they were slipping in and out of different formations, muddying the centre, making sure Juventus could do nothing. It was only until about the 75th minute that Juventus actually made anything happen. They got in behind once or twice, and one of those times resulted in a goal from Chiesa, which is a really good finish. So I think Porto is going to be similar to last year. Juventus are going to go and get knocked out, and Porto are going to edge it. And Porto are a team, they're a bit like last season Olympiacos. If I was supporting a Champions League team, I would not want to come across Porto. They're extremely functional at the moment.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you on that one. Prime?
Juve have the quality. Juve will go through because CR7, but they have a PE teacher. Yeah, Juve should go through. Pirlo's not. Nah. Juve messed up, really. They had Sarri last season and they were blaming it all on him when clearly the squad needed an overhaul. And they decided to do a rebuild with Pirlo instead of sticking with Sarri or getting another manager to do a rebuild with.
Pirlo's the Italian Lampard. I knew Prime wouldn't like that. He loves Pirlo.
Here's the thing: Juve cannot get knocked out. They have the quality to go through.
We said that last season with Lyon, though. We also they've got quality. They should go through, and then Lyon put the functional performance in.
But Lyon are a better team than Port. The thing is, my heart is telling me Juve have to go through, but my head's saying it's going to be Porto. So yeah, I'm saying Porto go through.
I think Ronaldo's going to wake up.
Yeah, away goals. Porto away goals. Yeah, they'll go through.
I think Ronaldo will wake up, to be honest. I think he'll turn up. He'll just do what he does always when they need him, and I think Juventus will win this. I think it'll be a tight game, though. I don't think it'll be like it'll be like 45 minutes 0-0, and I reckon Ronaldo will score in the 60th minute, and then he'll score again or something. It'll just be one of them games, them Ronaldo games where he just comes out of nowhere. Like, I've just got a feeling that it's gonna happen, to be honest. But we will see on that one. We move on to the games on tomorrow, the big one. Let's do Chelsea last. That's a big game. I want to quickly jump onto these ones. Lazio and Bayern Munich. Alex, can you see anyone stopping Bayern Munich, or do you think they're going to just win it again this season? Are they just that good?
Oh, my opinion is going to shock you. I think Bayern are going out.
What, against Lazio?
They could do, yeah, very easily. Bayern have been ridiculously arrogant this season. They lost at the weekend. They've lost a number of times this season. They play a really high line, as we saw last season. Difference is they've got Jerome Boateng at the back with Nicolas Sula, two players who are slow. Boateng's got no knees. They keep getting caught out. And this isn't just like me playing up to the camera joking. Bayern have been really lucky this season, the fact they're top of the Bundesliga. The fact Leipzig are even close to them, with how inconsistent they have been at times. The fact Dortmund are falling apart at the moment, but the fact Dortmund are chasing them so early in the season. Bayern are a team that really, I think this season, this Champions League season, they're getting caught out. Maybe it won't be against Lazio, but even against Chelsea, any team with a bunch of pace will exploit it. Even last season against Lyon, there was a few times when Carl Toko Ekambi went through, and just because the man had two left feet at the time and couldn't finish, that's the only reason Bayern got through. I think you're going to be quite shocked at them. I definitely think they're going to ship chances as well. Yeah,
okay. Fair enough. That's a big call. Wow. I mean, if they get knocked out, then for me, it's just up in the air because I wouldn't be able to predict. I wouldn't want to put my money on who's going to win it this year. But Prime, do you agree with Alex? Prime?
Oh, sorry. I like that. I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Do you agree with Alex?
See, what you said about Bayern is the same thing I've been saying this season and the last. I predicted them to get knocked out by Lazio over the course of the tie. Even last season, what we played them last 16. It's annoying we had Frank Lampard because we could have beaten them. Their defense was not that good. They played Barcelona. They still had chances. Even in that final, they got outplayed, but because Neymar didn't turn up, PSG lost. The defense is not that good. And you're right. Even now, having like the Boateng and stuff, it doesn't help them. Alaba, when he plays centre back, is average as well. And yeah, Lazio are going to beat them, and Lazio will go through over the course of the time.
Yeah, I'm going to say I am going to say, I can't believe you just. I'm sticking with Bayern Munich. I just don't see anyone else getting around Bayern Munich. They're a beast, man. Come on. They've got Lewandowski. They've got Leroy Sané. They've got Kimmich. They've got Kingsley Coleman. They've got, do you know what I mean? They've got so many good players. Müller. Like, I just can't see Lazio. I can't imagine Lazio being Bayern. If they did, I would be shocked.
Trying to see
Like,
it,
that's how
you
bad
can't.
it would be. Like my head would just be like, oh my god, Bayern Munich are out. Like that's how bad it'd be. I'm going with a 2, maybe 3-0 win Bayern Munich. I just don't see how Lazio beat them.
Watch them be the team that lets down your bet. Watch them be the team that lets down your bet.
Yeah.
This week.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And this comes onto a game which is going to be interesting because Atlanta remind me of Leipzig. They remind me of Leeds. They just know only one way to play one style of football against a Real Madrid team that don't like teams going at them, getting in their faces. Alex, is this going to be an upset?
It could be. I mean, Atalanta have fallen off a little bit this season. They struggled of late, but they do know how to play more defensively. They came so close to beating PSG last season, and obviously they're without Alejandro Gomez now. I think he's moved to Valencia or something like that. Oh, wow. So one of their best players is gone. But Atalanta are a team, like you were saying, they will play with confidence. And I think Real Madrid, as we saw against Ajax a couple of seasons ago, when a team plays against them that I guess doesn't respect their reputation, a bit like Gladbach as well in the group stage.
Yeah.
Where a team's playing against them and goes, you're just a team we can beat, not, oh my God, Real Madrid need to sit back. They will they can get beaten. And if they're playing Luka Modric still in midfield with Toni Kroos, woof, they could be torn apart on the transition.
Wow, okay. And what, so you going with an Atlanta or are you going with a Real Madrid? What are we going for, Alex?
That's a good point. We could predict.
Well, it's the first leg. It's the first leg.
First leg, we'll say, I'll match what happened with Gladbach. I'll say 2-2.
2-2.
Going with Jake as well, yeah.
2-2 is what Alex says, is what Jake says in the chat. We've also got Marlon that says 3-2 as well. Prime, laddie, what are you saying about this one, mate?
What's funny, because last week I did a Champions League, the European preview predictions for Lambs and Charlotte on here. What did I say? Yeah, no, I said Real Madrid will go through. I think this Atlanta last season were great. This season, I don't think they're as good as they were. It'll be interesting tie, both legs, but Real Madrid still have enough to go through.
Fair enough. People, please smash that like button. There's 25 of you right now with us. We appreciate it as always. Let's try and get this video to 40 likes, please. I appreciate it massively. I'm going to go with an Atlanta. I'm going to go with... No, actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to go with a draw, but I think there will be goals, and I think it will probably be 2-2. I think Real Madrid will score. I think Atlanta... Because Atlanta can't defend. But then I can see Atlanta going forward and scoring at the same time. So it's like the Real Madrid are just not good defensively at the moment as well. So I'm going to go with a 2-2. Will says 1-1. Marlon says first leg 3-1 Atlanta, and then Madrid to get a 1-0 win. But Atlanta still win 3-2 on aggregate. Wow, okay, cool. Getting tasty. We move on to... Well, we're going to go back to Chelsea very soon, people. The Athletico Madrid and Chelsea game we haven't spoke about yet. We're saving that the best for last, as they always say. But we're going to move on to Gladbach versus Man City. And Man City are on an 18-match unbeaten run at the moment, and they're looking like a colossal. Alex, can Man City win the Champions League this season, and will they beat this team?
I think the question is, will Pep out-Pep himself like he does every year? Every year, actually, now, City have been the odds-on favourites to win the Champions League. And every year, Pep gets a little too defensive in his tactics and throws out the window. Did the exact same thing against Lyon, where he switched to a back three when they could have just been City and rolled over. Now, Gladbach these different series, Gladbach are in a weird spot. I don't know if you guys know, but their manager Marco Rose has been confirmed to join Dortmund at the end of the season.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, so effectively they're playing with a manager who will either say, I'm going to focus on Dortmund, or he's going to say to himself, I'm going to put every ounce of my energy into doing the best of this team. This is my last few months with them. Now, the Gladbach strikers have kind of underperformed a bit, but there's one player, Alassane Player, has 5 goals in the Champions League. He scored against Real Madrid. He's the one to watch out for City. And I think if City do get caught out, it'll be on transition, but I guess it's probably going to be a City win. I'll back City. I'll say 1-0 over this leg. But the question will be if Pep does something too defensive and wrecks his own team.
Yeah, fair enough. Prime?
Yeah, he's right. Pep always tries to, in the champ. I don't know why, but since leaving Barcelona, Pep always wants to try and prove how smart he is. At Bayern Munich, he played up against Barca's MSN, and he tried man marking them, and they got ripped apart on both legs. Comes to City, playing Liverpool was in the quarterfinal and playing Tottenham in the semi, and Lyon last season. It's like he just tries to prove how smart he is and always fails. Rhodes is a really good manager. I think there will be a shock in this game and they'll lose, I think, like 3-1 or something.
Wow.
City. I think because Pep is going to try and experiment and ruin what's already working right now. I don't even think what they're doing right now is that great anyway, but I think he'll try and ruin what they're doing right now. I think because he will ruin their centre-back partnership, or he'll end up playing a back 3 or something. Laporte will play, I think Ake might play or something like that, and then they'll end up losing 3-1. And then they'll try too much. In the second leg, Pep will try too much to try and rectify that.
Yeah.
And they'll end up winning the second leg, but they'll
just make it
out on the away
complicated.
goals.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they'll get knocked out on the away goals. So yeah, I say Mönchengladbach go through on the tie.
Wow. Massive statement from Laddie from here. I mean, Alex, do you rate Neuhaus?
Neuhaus. Yeah, Florian Neuhaus. Yeah. Good question, Will. Really good centre midfielder. Won't bang about him too much, but he's a player that I think maybe City will have a look out for in this game. They'll probably be in the same way when Chelsea played Basel a few years ago and looked at Mo Salah and, yeah, we'll have you. They'll probably do the same with this guy, Florian Neuhaus, a midfielder who's really technically gifted, 4 goals, 4 assists, scored a great curling shot against Bayern Munich a few weeks ago. Player to look out for, a nice spot from Willer.
What type of player is he? I've heard of him, but I don't watch.
He's a bit like... He's quite young at the moment. I think he's 23 years old, so he's still finding his ground, but he's really dynamic and really good dribbler as well, and pretty decent in the final third, like in terms of his vision. And his goals have been, he scored a couple of good long shots. Obviously, that can be a bit unsustainable, but very good attacking player and decent defensively. So a bit of an all-rounder.
Alex
Fair enough. I'm going to go with a City win. I just don't see how Mönchengladbach stop them. I really don't. I think City are going to win 3-1. I get the whole, Pep, then this and that. They're on an 80-match unbeaten run. And yes, they haven't been massively impressive. But for me, they've got players that are individually stepping up. And with Man City, it's not that. They don't need... It's not like they rely on one player. They've got players all across the pitch that contribute to goals. Like, it's not just Sterling. KDB's back. Aguero's on the bench. They've got, what's his name? Scoring goals. Gundogan. They've just got Phil Foden. Like, there's a number of good players. I just think they've just got too much talent for me. I really do. I think they'll make the semi-finals. I really do. And then it just depends who they get along the way. But I expect them to win 3-1 in this game.
Andrew Murphy said, so a better version of Mount.
No, he's a bit more box to box than Mount.
We're coming to the big one, as people have been waiting for, the big game tomorrow. Atletico de Madrid versus Chelsea. Obviously, there's been talks about injuries for Atletico. They haven't got Raul Jimenez playing. They haven't got Carrasco. They've also haven't got someone else that's quite key for them as well. Alex, it's a big game tomorrow. Everyone's saying Chelsea are the underdogs in this one. I know Atletico Madrid lost their last game. I know Chelsea drew, but which way do you see this going?
Oh, I've got a big scout report on Atletico.
It's a neutral ground as well. It's neutral
Yeah,
ground
it
as
is,
well.
it
isn't
is.
it? Over at home. So, yeah, go on.
This game will be won and lost with a few key battles. Now, João Felix is a player that people can have eyes on. I think he's going to have a quiet game because he's a striker who likes to drop deep and left, which means as per the quota in a back three, could be able to maintain him and hold him down, mark him. I think João Felix is going to be a quiet game. What Chelsea fans need to be worried about, extremely worried about, is if Marcus Alonso starts, because this could be the game that makes the man retire. Atletico, to give a bit of context, Atletico will play, surprisingly, they will actually set up with a back three this game. That's what they've been doing all of their big games. And I know we're used to seeing them 4-4-2. They'll set up with a back three. And on the right, they'll have Marcus Llorente, the guy who scored against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And perhaps inside, Angel Correa. And these two are really dynamic players. They're going to sit basically on the right wing, so Alonso's side, underlap, overlap, go dip in and out. They're very well drilled. They're very quick, and they've been very deadly this season. Alonso, by himself, I think could get absolutely shredded by these two. And I think this needs to be a game Thomas Tuchel starts Ben Chilwell. That being said, Chelsea can easily get at Atletico because although they've got a good defensive record, it's 16 goals conceded in 19 games. They've also got one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Oblak, who saved 80% of his shots. Yep, that's right. Atletico tend to be vulnerable when players charge at them. And if you get Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount charging directly at defence, these defenders, they're good in the system. Like
what about Werner?
Werner, yeah, as well. Yeah. Well, the thing is with Atletico, they've got a good system, but their defenders, I looked it up, no one in their defence has actually won more than about 55% of their ground duels, which means if they go into a tackle, they're losing it nearly half the time. They're getting beaten by half the time. Johnny said, what do you say, Atletico are dipping slightly given the last two results? For context, they've won one of the last four. They are a little, but I think form's just catching up with them. They've been overperforming. They've got lucky in terms of Suarez has been having a magnificent season. Everything he hits turns to goals, and I'll touch on him in a second. And Oblak's just been on fire. So I think there's definitely room to get at them. And but the one thing that will be interesting to watch, Suarez at the moment, he's doing a really interesting thing I've not seen many strikers do. So I think the most deadly thing in modern football is probably when a player runs down the byline, cuts it back, and then the player's there to smash it in, right? When they're arriving into the box, they hit with momentum. What Suarez will do, he'll sit about 10 yards offside, like even when the ball's with the goalkeeper and centre-backs. So when the ball gets funneled down the lines, when Atletico quickly counter and attack, Suarez is already ahead of the defence, but he'll be behind the ball. So he's basically given himself a head start. It's an interesting thing, but it's worked a few times this season. So Chelsea will have to watch him. But I think overall, I think Chelsea have what it takes at least over the two legs. I was in a stream earlier. I said this game would end 1-1. It's playing in Bucharest. And I'm not sure the exact scoreline of the second leg. I know this is his first leg, but I think Chelsea are actually going to do it over Atletico. I think they're going to go through on this side. Yeah, I think they're going to do it.
And do you think having Tuchel is another reason why Chelsea will beat him? Obviously, we was very underconfident with Lampard in control. And obviously now we've got Tuchel and we feel like we've got a bit more of an identity as a team. There's a system. The players feel more comfortable in the roles that they're asked to play in as well. So is it? Do you feel that's another tipping point as to why Chelsea might do it? Just the manager they've got as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the guy who coached PSG to the Champions League final, which is still no mean feat. Like obviously they've got two of the best players in the world, but he out-tacticked Dortmund in the second leg. He played very well against RB Leipzig, and he almost beat Bayern Munich. And having him at Chelsea elevates them. I think Chelsea, they're just a team that who wants to bet £10
Who wants to bet £10 Suarez biting the defender tomorrow?
I'll bet a tenner. Definitely.
You look like the Undertaker. Gal says you look like the Undertaker right now.
Hey, I don't know who the Undertaker is. But okay.
He's a wrestler.
I don't watch wrestling.
But I was just gonna touch it. Always lost my train of thought there.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I think basically if Chelsea can get with Tuchel, I think what I was gonna say is that Chelsea have their players are actually really good quality. Werner, Hudson-Odoi when he's on his day, Kovacic, Jorginho. These are players who are always good as Atleticos. They just need that confidence and that belief. And I think Tuchel can inspire that, saying he is a top-level coach and he can give them that boost and potentially, I think, get them over this tie.
Who do we need to keep quiet out of that game? I mean, obviously you've mentioned a couple of dangerous people, but who's the main key figure at Atletico that you think Chelsea need to be careful of?
João Felix.
Yeah.
Felix, because I think he will be kept quiet naturally, but he's been Atletico's best player at seeing what Mason Mount does, dropping in between the lines, picking up the ball and turning around and driving at the defence. So he won't pocket swat. I hope he does, mate. I hope Crusty Christensen does actually have a good game tomorrow. But you never know. Zuma might start, mate. You never know. You never know. There's 30 people of you here right now. Please smash that like button. We will be releasing the link in the stream very, very soon. But we need to get to the 40 likes, people. So please smash it. And I'll drop it very, very soon. Just going through some of these chats. 2-2 draw first leg. And then 1-0 Chelsea second leg. To leg Mount to score penalty and Chelsea to win 3-2 on aggregate is what Marlon says as well. Igal is just laughing in the chat in the group. We've got a message from Velshine here saying, I remember when Carrera tried to squad up VVD, he said as well. Big up to JB who's in house. Hope you're well. Jeremy's here as well. Big up to him as well. We're going to move on to Ladimus. Laddie. What are we saying about this game?
It's weird. When we were drawn against them, I was acceptant of us getting knocked out again. But like Madrid, they've been great this season. What are they still 10 points clear in La Liga or something like that? They've been amazing.
Yeah.
Tuchel comes in, that changes that for us. I think you're right. They probably will set up with a back three, and I think he knows that, and I think he's been preparing for this game since coming in. You say our left-hand side. The thing is, Chilwell hasn't been playing well at left wing back, and I think to just bring him back in just for this game will be a bit shaky. We've got players who can run at them. The thing is, though, Callum's playing at left wing back, so that threat of him centrally out wide, but in the central attacking areas is a bit gone. Werner, is he back on form? Maybe. I'm not sure. Callum doesn't look like he's ready. Or not Callum. Pulisic doesn't look like he's ready.
Havertz,
Havertz, but I don't know if he plays in this game. Mount would be a big help. Trying to press. I think we'll keep a lot of possession against them, naturally, but I think we'll beat them 3-1.
Wow.
In the tie. But the thing is, it's our clinicalness. Because I'm not worried about João Felix. I'm not really worried about Suarez. But it's our clinicalness up against them, because we might only get 4 or 5 chances over the course of the tie. Because it's Jan Oblak in goal. And with 5 chances, we need to score at least 3 of them, because we know Suarez can pop up with a goal or two.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I actually agree with Prime. What he actually said about the clinicalness. Like we do lack that at the moment. One thing that I wouldn't blame it on Tuchel, because he's only been here for 2.5 weeks, but I feel like we're not making enough, Alex. Chelsea are not making enough in front of goal. And, we were playing Barnsley and we had 1 shot in the first half against Barnsley. Do you know what I mean? And then we played recently against, who did we draw with recently? Can't even get them out of my head right now. Newcastle. No, not Newcastle. Who was it? Southampton, that's it. We drew recently with Southampton again. First half was very, very poor. We just lack creativity. And part of the reasons why I think that happens is because I feel like Callum Hudson-Odoi should play as this wing-back role, because then it allows, now we've got Havertz fit, it allows someone to come in that role, maybe next to Mount or a Werner to play off a striker. When you play Reece James, I feel like we lose that attacking impotence, but I'm not blaming it on him. It's just that I see him arriving in the box against Southampton, and that's not the player you want there. Do you know what I mean? You want a Cho at the end of that. Do you know what I mean? But it's because he's being asked to play as a wing-back. And I think we're just struggling to create when we shouldn't be, and I think that's something Tuchel needs to sort out quickly, especially what Prime said against an Atletico Madrid team. Do you know what I mean?
So this creative problem we've had it's not just a Tuchel problem. We've had this problem all season, even with Lampard and everything. So it's like that's the annoying thing. And if we do create, will we be clinical enough?
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, look, I think we can beat Atletico. I know people saying, "Oh, like, you know, I'm not sure, you know, Atletico are on fire in the league, this, that, and the other," but we have got a good enough squad to go against them. We have got a very good squad. We just need to get them playing in a certain. One thing that we do well under Tuchel, and Alex could probably vouch for it because he's seen it a lot, and I've only just seen it recently since he's been here. We win the ball back quicker, but in the right areas. So we actually limit the opposition, not only in possession, but also in terms of shots on target. So our goalkeepers don't actually do much throughout a 90-minute game. Is that normal with Tuchel, Alex, would you say, in terms of the way he sets up?
Yeah, he's part of that German school of coaching. He likes to win the ball back quickly and press them high. But I think you mentioned about Reece James starting. You don't want him to start. I think he will. Tuchel, you're probably going to see a bit more than, not negative side, but more defensive side of Tuchel. Last season in the Champions League and the year before, he likes to set up conservatively, a bit like Pep. And it can be to the team's detriment. But I do think Reece James is going to start a right wing back, and Chelsea are going to be a bit more defensively minded. Whether I'm not sure who will start up front. On the stream earlier, I was actually thinking, I've been looking at it as well, because Atletico are really dominant in the air. You probably want some form of Werner, Pulisic mount, or Werner, Hudson-Odoi mount up front.
Yeah.
And so they can drive, they can get the ball in between the lines and turn around and go straight at the back three of Atletico.
Really? You don't want to, so we shouldn't try and utilize we shouldn't try and utilize Olivier Giroud, because I know they're not playing at home, but technically we are the away side. So shouldn't Atletico Madrid have the impetus to come out to us?
They might, and I think Chelsea will do better if Atletico do come out to if they do pile the pressure on Chelsea, because Atletico will be a lot easier to catch on a counter attack. If they're allowed to sit back and drop into their penalty box, then Chelsea can have a very, very slow night. But
just quickly, 35 of you here right now. Please smash the like button as always. I've just dropped the link in the chat as well for you to come in. Let's get this to 40 likes. I know people were asking me about where's ads. Az was here earlier. He was speaking about the Europa League game and he had to shoot off. He's got work to do. He's a busy guy at the moment. So, you know, this is why we are here to support each other. But yeah, 35 of you here. We appreciate it massively as well. We've got a couple of people in the back already, all ready to jump on and have their say. We're going to start with SB. SB, welcome to GNA. How are you, my man?
Yeah, I'm good. How you guys doing?
Not bad, bro. Not bad. Not bad. What would you'd like to say? You might have a question for Alex or for anyone else, or a game that you've seen. Just let us know what's on your mind.
I was just thinking with the Chelsea Athletico Madrid game, would you guys just to see how Hudson-Odoi responds from being substituted off like really early in the last game against Southampton? I think that's going to be quite an important thing to see, because it'll tell you, because obviously he's young, he's still young at the moment, like in footballing terms. So it'll give you an indication of his mentality as well, whether he lets it affect him or not. So I'm just wondering what you guys' views were on that.
Okay. I think you're right to point out like how will he respond. I think it was painted really negatively, right? Certainly in the press, certainly on Match of the Day, they thought it was so harsh and they thought he played well. And I was watching the game and I thought he was getting into good positions. But I think it was, I think he is going to respond well. And I think maybe I'm biased because I do like Tuchel, but I like what he's done, because to me, it's not the same pattern of Chelsea managers. They come in and say, these boys are brilliant. Marcus Alonso is a fantastic left back. We're a brilliant side. He's come in and gone, you are the most prized youngster at this football club. If you don't get your together, then you're getting subbed off, even if I've subbed you on. And that, I think that sends a message to the rest of the team of saying, well, if Hudson-Odoi can get subbed off immediately, then he's not going to get. I will have the same thing. I've got to raise my game. And I think what he's going for is a big bounce back against Atletico. So I think Hudson-Odoi is going to spawn. Maybe he won't get a goal or assist, but he's definitely going to be aggressive. He won't be laxing in energy.
I hear that. SB, anything else you'd like to say, bro?
Yeah. One more. I was just thinking what Giroud needs to do to start a game, because obviously the only problem people had with Giroud was his lack of pressing. But I feel like in the sub appearances he has made under Tuchel as a manager, he's actually started to press more. So anything, I think that's the only thing that Tammy had over him was the pressing. So I'm just wondering, what do you think it's going to take for Giroud to actually get a start?
I think Giroud shouldn't be used in terms of pressing. I think it's a waste of his ability and what he's best at. Plus, considering his age as well, you don't want to burn him out within 45 minutes of a game.
How do you think he'll start?
I don't think he'll. I don't think he will start this game because, like Alex said, we should utilize playing along the ground instead of in the air as a simple way of putting it. But if we do want to maybe try and hit on the counter attack and use someone to link the play, I would rather use Giroud than Havertz or Tammy, because Havertz is not on form. If Tammy plays this game, we're getting knocked out because we're going to have chances, and the majority of them will fall to him, and he won't take them. That's going to be the one thing
I would prefer to have Giroud start tomorrow. I don't want to see Tammy on the pitch. If we're going to play Werner off him, which I think he will, I think Werner will play off the left and then sort of, more of like a direct striker as well, which he's been doing. I'd rather have a Giroud for him to link off. I think Giroud will hold the ball better as well. I don't want to see Timo Werner up front on his own. The only other option I would like to go with, but I don't think he'll do it yet because he's only just got back, is maybe play Kai Havertz as like a striker, supporting striker, and play him off and let him and Werner play off each other, because I think that would work. I think Havertz would enjoy that position personally. I think he could do it, couldn't he, Alex? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's where Havertz's future position is, probably up front. But just to answer your question, man, about Giroud, like what takes him to start, I'm not sure he will start as many games. I think he's going to make more sub appearances. The reason is with Giroud is because he is beginning to press more. But he's not the sort of player you start. He's the sort of player you have on the bench and you look at the game and go, okay, we're not linking our play up front. We need Giroud on. And that's why he's got the most sub appearances and the most sub goals in the Premier League, or he's up there. It's because he's the perfect player. A manager can go, okay, we're not being able to link play up front at the moment. I need someone to come on, hold up play, but not be like a target man as such, actually like be a bit more useful. I'm bringing Giroud in, because not every game is a Giroud game, but when it is a Giroud game, he is the most useful player in world football because of his ability to just link play. So I don't think he's going to start many games, but I think you'll probably see a lot more sub appearances from him. I think Tuchel's going to be a lot more open to using him.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Alex is a Chelsea fan. Don't tell her that. Yeah, he is.
I'm not. That's my podcast co-host, Rittick's car review. Yeah, the Eurowatch, Euro 2021 show. He knows I'm not a Chelsea fan. What's he talking? I'm wearing an LAFC shirt. I'm an LAFC fan at the moment.
Giroud is a counter-attacking gem, is what he says there as well. It's SB, thanks for coming on, bro. We've got loads of people in the back. Appreciate you always here, bro. Take care of yourself, yeah? See you in a bit.
You too, sir. See you.
See you later, bro. Next up, we're going to have JB. JB, how you doing, my man?
Yo, hey. In my opinion, I think Athletico Madrid, they're favourites just because, they're doing really well at the moment in La Liga. Defensively, they're really well drilled as well. I think Chelsea will find it hard to, penetrate their defence and create chances. I mean, they've got good players, as you mentioned, and if Callum Hudson-Odoi starts, I think he'll cause all sorts of problems because he's quite rapid on the wings. But I think Giroud should start because he's very experienced and he did really well earlier on, against Sevilla as well, where he scored the hat trick. So it'll be interesting to see if Tuchel gives him an opportunity. I think because with Suarez and João Felix, they're playing quite well at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see if Chelsea can handle that and if their midfield can dominate the game, because I think with Atletico, often they'll allow the opposition to have more of the ball, but then because they're so well drilled defensively, they're often able to intercept and break up play and deal with it, and their pressing is also quite good as well. And everyone knows Luis Suarez, he's such a threat as well, and he's just he's so is such a potent threat in the box, and that's the thing. Like the Chelsea defense, they're gonna have to really be switched on, because if they give him too much chance, too much space, then he could score. So
I hear you, bro. You talk a lot of sense, JB. It makes a lot of sense, mate, what you're saying. So are you confident in us actually getting the win tomorrow? Do you think we can win it overall, or do you think Atletico?
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's at Stamford Bridge. Is the first one.
Bucharest.
No,
Bucharest.
It's
Oh, right,
Bucharest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bucharest. Yeah, you might. Like it all really depends on like how you play, and if you're able to nullify the threat from Atletico. Because I mean, if you get an early goal, then you know, I think that'll boost like the team's confidence, and it also depends on like how well you defend as well. And if you can like keep Luis Suarez quiet, because he's like a very key player for Diego Simeone's side. So because that's the thing, like, and one thing I've also realized is that the game can these type of knockout games, like they can switch really quickly. Like in the first leg, you might not have a good game, you might get like one goal, it could be 1-1, and then in the following leg, like you can like absolutely dominate them. So it really depends. Like it's all about like being consistent and not making too many mistakes.
I do think it depends on us as well, a lot of it. I think if we turn up and we play like we have been, then, and we move the ball well, and we're quick with the ball, and you know, we're not too much sideways, because one thing Atletico will be is organised, and if we don't move that ball quick enough, we're not going to break them down, because to me they're one of the best for just sitting in front of the ball and just defending, and the only way you break that is moving the ball quicker, and what, like Alex says, be direct with them. Get your players that are skillful, like the Chos, the Pulisic's, if they're playing Werner, if he's making movement and making runs behind the defence, use his pace. I guarantee he's quicker than probably every player at the back, Alex, isn't he, that Atletico have got? Play him in, right?
Very easily.
So, you know, we just need to start playing to our... One thing that Chelsea ain't been doing well, and I keep saying it a lot, we don't play to our players' strengths a lot of the times. Like Werner, he makes runs and he's always forever tracking back, because we don't play that pass, you know what I mean? And this is why I feel like we miss someone like a Havertz, because I think Havertz would do that. Ziyech, when he's on the pitch, if he can find his form again, would do that. You know, Mason Mount needs to do it more, you know? So... There's a lot going well for us. At the same time, Tuchel's only been here 2.5 weeks. But JB, we appreciate it as always, bro. Thank you for coming on and having your say, man. No worries, bro. Always welcome here, mate. Take care of yourself. See you later, mate. Bye. Right, next up we've got right. Let's get the regular panelist on. Let's get Will. Let's get Johnny on, and let's get Alex on as well. The boys are in town. The blue boys are here.
Will's here. I'm leaving.
I'm going to start with Alex. Obviously, a big game for us tomorrow, bro. How are you feeling about it? Are you confident? Do you think we've got enough to get a result against Atletico?
Look. If I was the players and I was the manager, I think this game is kind of a free hit. I think we just have to go play without any fear, not thinking that we're going to lose the game. It's just, I think there's not much expectation at the moment for Chelsea, even from the Chelsea fans. I think that we are going to go and win this game. And I think I just want them just to, you know what I mean? I just want them just to play with no fear and just kind of just try and win this, you know, try and do your best. I think that's all I can get from the players, because the thing is, at the moment, Chelsea aren't at that stage or as a team to go and, you know, beat these big teams. I think they can do it. However, I think Chelsea, if they do play, because if you look at Chelsea's team, I think Alex was saying this before. If you look at Chelsea, and even you, Jem, that if we look at our team in general of players, we do have great players, and it's just about if they can play a good game. If Chelsea play a good game tomorrow, I think they win this game, or at least they get a decent result to bring into the second leg. And the thing is, Tuchel also, he can be quite pragmatic. You know, he's not only just kind of a manager he's quite pragmatic. He could change a couple of things. And I see this game, it depends really about what Chelsea do compared to maybe what Athletico Madrid do, because I think Athletico Madrid will still play the same way they do, where they will maybe be more defensive, and then maybe Chelsea will be. I see a draw. I completely see like a very boring 1-1 draw, or even a 0-0. I think both teams will play it safe. Actually, I don't. It's gonna be a hard game to kind of. It's gonna be one of those games where it's gonna be a lot of ball recycling and kind of.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I think it makes a lot of sense as well. One of the things that Alex was talking about earlier, not CFC Alex, Euro expert Alex, was talking about earlier, was he was saying how one of our weaknesses, Johnny, could be playing Alonso against them, because he believes that they might be able to exploit it, especially because Alonso don't like going backwards. Do we think Alonso's going to start tomorrow, or do you think we might look to maybe get Chilwell back in the game?
I would feel more confident with Chilwell, regardless of the fact whether we know if he can or can't play wing back. Because Atletico are going to play a low block, we know what they're going to do. I think my main concern is Tuchel likes to recover the ball right up the pitch. In the event that we don't recover, I would be worried with Alonso being there as opposed to Chilwell. But with Atletico, they're technically a very good side. Although they just sit back, that's just tactics. But their players are actually technically better than what we play in the Premiership. Yeah. So for that reason, I feel if we're not spot on with our pressing in that final third, that's where we're going to get caught out because of the Felixes and the skill that they offer, and to find that pass, and they will go left and right as opposed to down the middle, more than likely. So I do you know what? I don't know with TT. I don't know. I can't. I asked Alex in the chat. I can't predict who he's going to pick. I want Giroud to play. I think if Tammy plays and you're asking him to hold the ball and all this link-up play, he's not going to give you that, whereas Giroud will. And the other player that I really would feel so much confidence in us going into the game is to have a player like Pulisic, because we haven't got anyone that offers trickery in that final third to get us that free kick, to get the yellow card, to one of their defenders or centre mids, to aggravate them as well and make them feel scared. Because Cho's great, but Cho's more pace and directness for me, whereas Pulisic has got that agility to turn and change of direction in those tight positions. So I don't really want to see.
He's not in form though, Johnny, is he? That's the problem.
I know he's not in form, Jem. I know he's not in form, but you know what? These games to me now, why I think we've got a really good chance of going all the way, if we beat Atletico, that is. I think if we beat Atletico, we can go all the way. But is because we're not playing at their ground and we're not playing at our ground. It's like a cup. Every game's a cup final. It's just luck of the draw. You know, it's whoever turns up on that day, really. So I don't think you can say there's a favourite. I think it's quite even.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Will, obviously, you've made it very clear that if Jorginho ain't playing tomorrow, Chelsea in trouble. Would you rather Kante not be playing tomorrow?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I think there's certain players tomorrow that we have to play. I agree with Johnny that I think Pulisic and Giroud should start. I think they both should, and I would play Mount I'd play Mount and Pulisic between the lines, and then Giroud as the striker. I think that's the best attack we should play. Again, with the left wing back position, I'd probably feel more secure with Chilwell, just because he's not as slow and he can get up and down the pitch quicker. I think Kovacic and Jorginho are a really good pivot. I wouldn't play Kante. It's just I'm so nervous and so excited at the same time, if I'm being honest.
But do you not need Kante? Do you not need Kante in these type of game?
We need a bit of
Do you know what I
energy
mean?
in
You
the
need
game.
someone that's going to be able to win the ball back. Alex, what do you say?
It's difficult. Kante, yes. If you want Chelsea to win the ball back and quickly hit Atleti on the counter, then yes. But
there's no progression.
Yeah, you need Jorginho to. The way to beat Atletico, in my opinion, is to pass a ball between the lines, vertical pass, like we have seen recently, into Mount, into Hudson-Odoi, where they can turn around and go direct. If you have Conte on the pitch, he's less suitable than Jorginho to do that. So having Jorginho on the pitch gives you that weapon of going, okay, I've received the ball, even if Atletico are sitting quite further back, he can turn around, quickly straight fire into a pass to Mount, and you've all of a sudden taken 5 players out of the game. And that's why...
And with Kante, you're more likely to give the ball away as well.
So hasn't been that bad with the pressure. I think he's won the ball in a couple of games that we've seen him. He seems a bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
But if you don't play Kante, if you play Kante, who plays next to Kante? Do you play Jorginho or do you play Kovacic? Do you play Gilmore? Who do you play?
I think you need legs. I think you need legs in there. I
think Kovacic is better than Jorginho as an all-round player, but I think you've got to play Jorginho for the type of player he is. If I'm being honest.
I got a question for you, Chelsea.
That means that. Go on.
Are you nervous that Alvaro Morata is going to score against you lot?
No.
He plays for Juventus, mate.
He plays for Juventus.
No. So in the next one, I mean, if you go through and you go to the final and Alvaro Morata, you face all your former players and they come back to haunt you, how would you feel?
Juventus
Samuel. Well, all due respect, this is a Champions League discussion.
You saw me I was gonna say Inter Milan, but I thought they're out because I was wearing an Inter Milan shirt the other day.
Samuel, who do you think's gonna win tomorrow, mate? Who do you think's gonna do it?
You know what? I'm going 1-1, and Chelsea will go through on away goals. It'll be 0-0.
You're jinxing us. You're lying.
I'm not lying. I
do this with all the teams.
I spoke to Prime weeks ago, and I said you will go through. I said it'll be 1-1.
You didn't.
I did. I was back. Don't you remember? I said you draw 1-1 at the
when?
Platano. 2 weeks ago, backstage. Like weeks ago.
Okay, so there's no actual receipts. Okay.
Did you say this on the first 11 as well, Samuel?
Yeah, I said you go through. That's what I said.
You're jinxing it.
I looked at the game last year. I saw the game. I looked back at the game against Liverpool, the greatest team in Premier League history. And what Atletico did is from early. Well, apparently they call themselves the greatest team in Premier League history.
You got a Liverpool fan next to you. You got a Liverpool fan next to you, Samuel. Right next to you.
That's how dangerous Atletico are.
That's what I'm saying. This dominant Liverpool team, they went in there the first 3 minutes, set piece, and they scored. And the whole game, what Atletico did is sat back, and Liverpool could not break it down. So what Chelsea should look for tomorrow, is avoid the early goal and just stay. I'll say avoid the early goal like Liverpool did, and don't be careful on set pieces because they're the most dangerous side in set piece.
Alex, do you think they'll come on to us? Do you think Atletico will come on to us?
It's a home fight. You know, if it's at the bridge, then they would come at you. But seeing this as a home game, I don't see any chance of them coming at you.
That doesn't make sense.
I think if Chelsea get the ideal, you want Atletico to come at you. Now, I think Simeone will set his team out there to try and sit deep. However, that can change within a game. If Chelsea are sitting deep and Atletico sense the opportunity to go forward, then they will, and that's when they can get caught out. But the thing is,
you played Atletico before years ago, like I think 7 years ago. I know it's still a
13, 14.
You played in the semi-final. It was 0-0 at the old stadium, and then it was 3-1 at the bridge. So when I look at the game, mainly what Simeone does in the home Champions League ties is he just likes to catch you on the counter. He doesn't go for it, and then he makes you shoot yourself on the foot. Just look for the mistakes so you can capitalize on it. If it's a away tie,
last time.
That was the
beat them in the first. Beat them in the first game. Michi Batshuayi scored the winner. Then they drew the second one
on the bridge. Yeah, but I'm going back to the knockout game because Atletico Madrid are different on the knockout stages. They're a different beast. That's why Simeone, I think he's only lost one Champions League game where Ronaldo hasn't been involved in the knockout stages.
I've got the stat. Out of 5 of the last 7 Champions League seasons, Atletico have made it to the last 8. That's the quarterfinal or further. Go on, John. Go on, Johnny.
Go on, John.
His mic's cut, but so 5 out of the last 7 seasons made it further. Or gone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm looking at now current form. Forget about the past. At the end of the day, I want Atletico to come on to us a little bit. I think they will, and it's whether Tuchel. I wanted to ask you, Alex, if you think because Tuchel, we know how he likes to play, but because of who we're playing, is he gonna say to the team to sit back a little bit? Because obviously, if we peg them back continuously and we're not getting through, psychologically, that feeds Atletico. It doesn't feed us.
But Johnny,
So-
you know what you know what his strong point is like kind of switching everything around in the game. You don't know what way like a game with Tuchel in charge is going to go, and I've seen that a lot recently with how he's actually stepped into to the Chelsea team. I think. Alex, what are your thoughts? Alex, what are your thoughts?
I think you're spot on there, Ad, as well, Johnny. You're right in terms of Tuchel is going to come into this game with a set tactical plan. He has done this consistently in these UCL ties, but he will be trying to implement this Chelsea side to change midway through the game. The difference is, though, he's been at the club for about 3 weeks. Simeone's been at Atletico 8 years and has already got. When Atletico are out of position, they can morph into a 4-4-2. In position, they go in like a 2-3-5. They are very well disciplined, and that's the advantage they have over Chelsea this game. What Chelsea need to do basically is make this game chaotic. If it's so steady, where maybe they're pushing forward and Atletico are allowed to sit in a disciplined formation, then they're going to lose. But if Chelsea can make the game chaotic and catch Atletico underloaded at the back, then that's when they could be in business.
You know what? One player that you look out for is for the past 8 years, the same threat, Luis Suarez, because people thought he was finished last season at Barcelona. And now he's come back.
He's slow now,
but he's still Luis Suarez. If you look at the goals, he has over 16 goals in La Liga this season. It's still Luis Suarez. He's still a clinical finisher.
Samuel,
well with him. Yeah, go
Samuel,
on.
who's better, Suarez or Aubameyang?
Luis Suarez, because look, listen, in the last 5 years in La Liga, in 2016 he won the Pacini Award. He was top scorer in La Liga over Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi, and Benzema. It was Luis Suarez. I mean,
you're talking about Korea.
So, I mean, are you regretting that you guys didn't pay more than 49 million pounds?
Yeah, of course. We wouldn't be in the position we are right now if we signed Luis Suarez. That's my genuine thought. We would have won.
Right, can we let Velvish, one Liverpool fan, talk? What do you want to say, Velvish fan? What are you saying?
Yo, how's everyone doing today? You good?
Not bad, bro, not bad.
Velvish one.
Not bad.
Yeah. The game for tomorrow. Has anyone seen Atletico's last game against Levante?
Yeah,
they lost 2-0. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've seen that game, what they did, they were attacking, and their defense and goalkeeper had like a worldie. So I think what Chelsea need to do is hold the attack from Atletico and then try and hit them on the counter.
Yes.
But the question is, do you trust your defense and goalkeeper to do that job for you?
Goalie, yeah.
We need to be clinical in this. If we're not clinical in both ties, we lose. We lose the Champions League. We have to be. If we're clinical, I think we have a chance. We just have to be clinical in both.
Yeah, that's what happened to us. We weren't clinical enough, and then we got knocked out because of that.
Yeah.
Well, you dipped in that game dramatically, and just you fed Atletico that confidence, and that's what I'm saying. If they get any sniff of you not feeling at the races or confident, that's when they're going to hit you, because they wait for that moment in the game. They just wait for their moment, and I want to see out of our team, have they got what it takes to, when we are on top, to actually be clinical and take a chance? Because right now, I don't see our final third doing that. Especially,
who would you lot play up front? Who would you guys play up front?
I said I wanted Pulisic, Werner, and Giroud.
Yeah, I would want Giroud.
Get bullied. Werner will get bullied against this team. He'll do nothing.
No, but he's too good with his movement. Will, we need movement in the final third.
Werner will get bullied.
Yeah. Wait. Who would you play?
I'd play Pulisic, Giroud, and then Mount, but have Mount and Pulisic between the lines.
Pulisic is not been in good form.
When you're a player of Pulisic,
it's not the game for
quality,
Pulisic, though. It's not the game for him. I think it's the game for a physical striker that is Giroud to come in and bully them.
Yeah, and I want Giroud playing as well, Samuel.
Yeah, but
Will,
this is a European game.
I got a question for Will.
Yes. Go on,
Yeah,
Chris.
you say Werner's weak. What about Pulisic? Do you think Pulisic's strong?
I didn't say. I think Werner will get bullied, but I'm not even saying it's because he's weak. It's against a team that sits back like Atletico. Werner in games in the Premier League against teams that sat back doesn't do anything. His movement is great against teams which have a high line. Atletico aren't going to give him that space.
Yeah, but in the
Will,
event,
you know what the biggest issue is with Timo Werner? We do not play to his strengths. We do not have creative players behind him that when he makes runs, plays him in quick enough. We don't do that, and this is why he's so ineffective in game.
I don't necessarily think it's the creative players that we don't have. I think it's the
link up.
What is the word to describe? Yeah, I guess link up. It's the lack of
understanding between them.
Minus the open goals that he misses, which is not necessarily a problem for me per se. It's the link.
Is it the lack of cohesion? Do you think?
Kind of clinical edge, kind of the
we're missing. He needs a bounce board to work off of, essentially.
Yeah,
like the way Mbappe and Griezmann thrive off Giroud, he needs a target man to work off of.
A false nine or someone.
Most of the season, he should have been playing off of Giroud, and he wasn't. He was playing off Tammy, and that doesn't help at all. No. So I think I don't know how that is going to work in this game, but I think going on towards the end of the season and possibly next season, we either Tammy or either Giroud, he needs to be that guy that plays with Werner, or we go and get a target man. Because Werner needs. That's the only way Werner can play, unless he learns to adapt to playing up on his own and acclimatizing to the Premier League, which can take another year for him to do. And if you guys are willing to wait for that, that is fine. But if not,
Prime, you want Giroud, right? I'm assuming. Do you want Giroud to play?
Well, in this game,
yeah, because I do.
I mean, yes and no. I'll play him to link the play, and it'd be effective because we might need to put in a cross or two, and he can do it. But I don't want to play him if we're not going to be effective.
Wait, sorry, before you continue. 2 seconds. 2 seconds, boys. 2 seconds. I need to clear the studio back because I've got some people that are still trying to get in as well. So I need some people to drop out. Velwishwan, bro, thank you for coming on, my man. I'll talk to you in a bit, yeah?
No worries.
Cheers, bro.
Oh, Velwishwan, Trent is not a generational talent, by the way. I know, I'm just saying.
He's gone.
Is it all right to carry on, Jem, or you want to finish up or say something?
Yeah. Go on.
I was saying, for this to everyone, and Alex, see what you think. But for me, if Giroud plays, I feel like we want an experienced man up top who can actually bully their defenders, because Tammy's not that guy. He ain't going to bully them, and I want someone experienced in the side to just sort of say, "Hey, we're here. You got to handle me." You know, whether he's getting crosses or not. I think Giroud's link-up plays can be on his day excellent. We've seen it with Hazard, so why can't he do it with Werner or Pulisic? And with Werner, to back Werner, when has he actually had that one-on-one? He doesn't get many one-on-ones, or he gets near those positions to get in a shooting opportunity, but it's never like almost perfect. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping this game.
We don't create enough, Johnny. We don't create enough for him. That's the problem. We don't create enough.
Hey, I understand, Johnny. I understand where you're actually coming from, and see, I get where you're coming from. You want Giroud up front, the experience, and I think you're right. If he can link up play, if he can help Chelsea get the ball in between the lines, can be useful. I personally disagree, just because I think that can work, but in my head, just from looking at Atletico, the fact that their centre-backs, they're really dominant in the air and they're not dominant on the floor, my head would say it's a better battle worth fighting having three smaller technical players who can turn and dribble up front than Giroud and two others. But then again, Giroud does offer the idea that let's say Atletico are doing really well, they're pressing high and they're able to stop Kovacic or Jovicic to keep it short, progressing the ball forward. Giroud does offer that option. So here's a longish ball, take a first touch and ping it out to Hudson-Odoi or Werner, or I think Pulisic, who would have been, if he's on form, he'd be great for this game.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I understand where you're coming from that one.
But do you feel Odoi without, so no Pulisic? So if you don't have Pulisic, Who's your front three if you want to play like that? Because I think trickery is the way forward with these lot, but I just don't. I know Mount's got trickery and Cho potentially, but who are you picking? And that, as if you don't play Giroud or Tammy, who's your front three to play this way?
It's got to be, I guess, Werner, Mount, and Hudson-Odoi. And obviously Werner, he's not confident at the moment, and due to that, he's got 2 left feet and he can't take a first touch that doesn't go more than 50 yards. So it does make it a bit difficult. But I think
go on,
Jeb. Basically, I think Werner and I think Werner, Mount, and Hudson-Odoi. Maybe Werner isn't the best at running at the opposition, and maybe Mount won't be. But what they will do is they'll get into good positions and receive the ball, and at least that will get Chelsea forward. Whereas maybe Chilwell and Reece James can support the attack. Kovacic can bomb forward a bit more and just support it. But it would be, sadly, maybe Pulisic will start. I mean, he's fit for the game. He's just not
match fit.
Yeah,
I don't think Pulisic or Kai Havertz would start in my eyes. I think you're going to see more of the same. I don't even want Reece James to start. I'd rather have Cho as a wing back. Personally, I think we'll create a lot more with him doing that. Kai's with us
who's
as well.
On the left, Joe?
My man,
who's
Kai
on the left?
How are you guys doing?
Well,
who'd be on the left, Joe?
Yeah, not bad, bro. Not bad. Who would I have on the left? I don't want Alonso there. Because, I think Alex has made it very clear that we might get caught out massively there in the defensive element. But, we'll just have to see. Maybe Chilwell, I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't really know. But, Kai, what are you saying, my bro?
Bro, I'm excited, man. I'm so fucking excited, man. Finally, a good game, man. You know? And at least, the players will get, actual excitement of playing against Atletico rather than playing against Southampton that just look like a B-Tech that Monaco team with that fucking stripe kit that they had, so at least finally they'll be a little bit gassed to actually play a Champions League game. Samuel, you don't know how that feels, but for the rest of you, it's been a while, man. Champions League's been a while, man, so I'm actually excited for it. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think we can win.
Who you playing with?
Yeah, they've been in bad form. We can beat them. I think a lot of people are sleeping on us, man. It's people are acting like we're some dead team, man. We're fucking Chelsea, man. We can beat Atletico.
Who are you playing up front, Kai?
Yeah.
Anybody but Tammy, man.
Tammy, yeah.
Tammy needs to be
Giroud and Werner.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, Giroud can't run to save his life, but I would prefer him than to play Tammy, man.
The thing is, I think Atletico Madrid will sit back, so Giroud could be good for this game, I think.
Who thinks Cho's going to make it? Who thinks Cho's going to have the mentality?
I think he will. I think he's
fine this game.
I think it's going to be fine.
A couple of reasons.
You know the reaction that the fan base had to Cho being brought off? I thought it sort of undermined Cho's character and how he can bounce back. It's I think it's a bit of an overreaction from the fan base. 1 minute they're saying it's his son, the next minute they're saying they fooled him out. It's just a joke.
That was painful to read, man.
That's the thing about this, fam. They want to mollycoddle these kids. They're playing men's football, and these sort of decisions are gonna happen.
Yeah, man up.
When Mourinho brought on John Terry and took him off, and keep in mind, Terry was in 20 or not 20. He was 34, 35 years old at the time. No one complained about that decision. About how is it going to affect John Terry's mental health? And no, you're a man. Man up.
It's a different age.
Yeah, I got a follow up to that.
It's not really. And you can say, is it embarrassing to do to a player? Yes, it is. So prove that. If I'm Callum, I'd make a point and say you should never do that to me again by making a statement in this game. Whether you start or you get 15 minutes off the bench.
It sends a message as well to the rest of the squad.
All the Kai Havertz, the Werners, they're going to be like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to perform. If I don't perform, he's just going to drop me. And I like that. I love that mentality. That's what we should be. We should always have that mentality. Every player in that squad should know what it means to play for Chelsea. And if you're not good enough, you don't play. And that's why Mount plays. Mount's good enough.
I think Havertz should play tomorrow, to be honest.
False
I
nine,
don't
yeah.
think-
I don't think he will
Yeah.
play him. I would play him, but I don't think he'll play him.
I would play
personally.
Havertz
Who
and
would-
Werner
guys?
up front right there than Giroud, man.
Guys,
Havertz isn't fully fit. He's not. Surely not.
Maybe as a
He-
sub last 10
he said he's
minutes.
fit.
Was it who scored as the lineup? The predicted the Chelsea lineup. They say Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Christensen, Aspilicueta back three, Hudson
That is a
Odoi at
big
right
back
wing
three,
back,
man. Jesus
Jorginho and
Christ.
Kovacic, Alonso at left wing back, Mount, Werner and Abraham.
Oh God. That is
No,
the
That's
real.
the
man. No, Tammy's not going to play. I
He's not
can't.
playing.
If Tuchel plays Tammy, I'm sorry, mate. You're off the pace, man. You're off it. You can't be playing Tammy
You know what?
in
I
a
was
game.
I
of
was
this
telling my
importance.
channel we should move Tammy to the women's team, man. He would fare a lot better than he does in our team. Man.
yeah,
He hasn't got it, man. He hasn't got it. He hasn't got it. Mount's
He
got
needs
it.
10 shots. To
Gilmore's
score,
got
he
it.
needs
Reece
10
has got
shots
it.
to score 1 goal.
Yeah.
That
I'd
is
rather
incredible.
put,
can I ask something?
Yeah.
Go on, Chris.
You know, like you talk about wing backs for Atletico. Which wing backs would you go for? I would go for Chilwell and Reece for defensive.
Yeah,
Like
no,
they just drop back.
That's a smart choice. Obviously, the fact I don't think the reason Chilwell hasn't been playing for Chelsea so much is because he's not as attackingly threatening as Alonso. Alonso does provide that threat. It's just the fact that he walks back that's the issue. Chilwell, he's less likely to score against Atletico, but what he's way more likely to do is to help secure Chelsea's defence and make sure they don't get torn to shreds on the right, which is Atletico's most dangerous side, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I'm not confident with either a left wing back. If I'm being honest, I'm not confident with either. Might as well play Emerson. For all
Yeah, let's
we
get
know.
Emerson out of the fridge.
If we had Thiago Silva, oh my God, I'd be so confident. I'd be
Yeah,
even
me
more
too.
confident than I am now. But
Does anyone not think we'll switch to a back? We'll play a back four?
No.
what this season?
Not
No,
for this
this
game.
one.
I would do
He
that.
doesn't
I would
get
do.
across his defense yet. I don't think.
Tuchel will be Tuchel can surprise, but I think it would actually make anti-sense because having this back three and having Aspilicueta as the right centre back will contain Atletico's biggest threat, which is João Felix. I think there's going to be a lot of hype about him pre-game from BT Sport, who will be covering it. He's probably going to have a quiet match because Aspi and James keep him covered.
I know
Can I just
know
say
that. I
something
know
very
that.
quickly? Boys, just really, really quickly.
Okay.
Who are we actually worried about from Atletico Madrid? Because all I keep hearing is
Yeah,
Felix. Are we even worried
that
about
was the
Suarez?
point.
Because he can't even run anymore.
Yeah, that was the point I was trying to get to. I think Felix isn't a much of a problem that everyone thinks he is. I think we could play a four.
Oh,
and
come on,
try-
bro.
No. Felix's trickery, and he finds the pass to
Hang on, let
to
him
get
finish.
Suarez.
He's a
Let him
generation.
finish. Let him finish his point. Let him finish his point, guys.
Okay, cool. Felix is not as much of a problem that people actually. I think.
Oh,
I
he's gonna come back to haunt you, Prime. We'll see.
Continue, Prime. Go on.
I'll let you land.
Okay, cool. I don't think it's really that much of a problem. I think he can be handled fairly much with. I think Reece James can handle him.
Mhm.
To be fair, I think because if it's a thing of you really want Kante in the team, you can't play Kante with Jorginho or Kante with Kovacic. He wouldn't. They don't suit each other, and that would disrupt the balance within our team. So I think maybe if we switch to a 4, that would help. But again, I understand playing the 3 and having to keep an eye on João Felix. So it just depends on how important do you actually think Kante is.
Yeah, and before you guys respond, Jeremy, you said about Suarez. Suarez is obviously a bit older and he's a bit slower, but I mentioned it. He will hang 10 yards offside, so we can get right in front of the goal at the minute. Don't underestimate him. I've seen in the times I've watched Atletico this season, I've seen him score goals that I've not seen him. I've not seen many people score. If you give him half a space, he will belt it in. So he may not be the biggest threat. He might not be the biggest threat, say, going in behind. But if he picks up that ball inside the box, then it's more likely you're not getting on target at least.
I need to dip. I've got to wrap up at 10.
Right, I'll see you in a bit, mate.
So yeah, I don't know when.
I
don't know when this is. Whenever this is finished, come and check out the wrap up on.
Yeah, we're going to finish off soon, Prime. Yeah, we're nearly done, mate.
10 p.m.
I have one question as well.
I'm always on the terrace and stuff like that as well. So.
Yeah, I have one question.
Cool, Prime. Thank you for coming on, bro. Go on, Chris.
See you, Prime. If we somehow beat Atletico, do anyone actually believe we can go to the final and maybe do it?
Yes.
Yes.
If we beat Atletico, I believe we can actually get to the final.
I've said
actually believe
I've said
that.
it from day one, guys. And
Wait, Johnny,
Is there a
Johnny,
favourite though?
wait, Johnny, before you talk, this is going to get
Is there a
picked up, and I'm
favourite?
not going to be part of this spy.
But what I'm gonna say is you're gonna draw Liverpool in the quarterfinal. And that's
I
what
don't
I'm
care
gonna
who we draw in the quarterfinal. If we get there, we're going to beat whoever comes our way. We're going to beat them, mate.
Even-
I'm telling you.
we draw
Atletico's the
Wait,
hardest
wait.
challenge.
I'd have Liverpool, man. I'd have them right now.
Is
Atletico's
there
the
an
hardest
actual
game.
boys?
No,
one
City,
second.
City, no. City, I'd rather not.
Is there an actual favourite? If you look at who's currently left at the moment, is there anyone that we should actually be scared of? Because apparently
City.
Bayern Munich ain't
Man
playing.
City.
We're not from Man City.
PSG is
all
looking
the
good as
time.
well. PSG and Atletico for me.
PSG
That's the
actually,
teams
yeah,
I'm worried
PSG.
about.
Manchester
PSG
City are
and Atletico.
odds-on favourites. It then goes Bayern Munich, PSG, and Liverpool.
I forgot about Bayern. Yeah.
Liverpool, Liverpool is whack. Liverpool's been crap for a while now.
No, but
Bayern,
Liverpool.
Bayern City, and PSG are the three. They're the three. But they are beatable. They're all beatable. Everyone's beatable. That's what I love about it.
Yeah,
Whereas
Especially
I agree.
last season, it wasn't like that. It was like if you're coming against Bayern,
You're done.
I mean, you haven't got a hairline of a chance to even draw the game. So this season's different, and that's why I think we've got a great chance. And I think City, if we do play City, I think they'll bottle it. I think Tuchel will do a masterclass on Pep.
Imagine we have the Champions League, man.
You know, with Bayern,
love it.
you know, Bayern, that would be that's when I'd be confident Werner will do them problems. That's the game.
I agree. That could be a big game for Werner. In terms of who will win it, by the way, I'm backing my lifelong team, Porto FC. I think they're going to do it all.
Really?
No.
No, really.
You think they'll beat
What a wonder.
Porto beating Juventus. Porto getting through against Juventus. To be fair, they could actually do it. They're really well coached, but and as Johnny was saying, anyone could beat anyone.
Yeah, I was watching that Juventus game, and Porto was so disciplined and like structured to the bend. It was it was entertaining to watch. They were so defensive and
good.
What about
the thing is, Juventus is horrible this season. They tried to do the same project we did with Lampard, and that team is just they're so bad. I've never seen a team with Ronaldo and it would be that bad, man.
It's almost as if hiring an inexperienced coach with no managerial experience doesn't make it very far. Who'd have guessed?
He was a manager for
the Italian version of Frank Lampard. Is it?
Even if we had Frank in, I still said we'll win the Champions League. I said whoever manages us, we're going to win the Champions League. I just got this feeling. We come top of our group, and the last time we come top of our group was 2012.
Hang on. What are you laughing about? You have no chance.
I'm saying something. Yeah, you're gonna draw Liverpool in the quarters of semis, and then they're gonna knock you out. That's why.
We're not you. We're not you, bro.
Samuel,
we're not
why
you.
don't you?
I believe you're gonna draw Liverpool.
Banter FC, you lot.
Samuel,
We're
got a question for you.
We're talking about the Champions League here. We're not talking about Arsenal.
The cup you've never
I got
won.
a question.
Semi-final.
Samuel,
No, wait.
I got a question for you.
Liverpool and the Champions League are a different animal. They're a different beast.
They showed that.
No, they're not.
The same dead animal, man.
Samuel, I got a question.
Go on, Chris.
What before I say, what was the score of Arsenal's game anyway? I'm just wondering.
It was 1-1. We're leading in away.
1-1
against Benfica. Yeah, good one.
Yeah. Do you? No. It's not. That's not. No, that's not banter. I forgot. Do you think you get to the final this year?
It depends luck of the draw, but I'm not confident.
No.
Andrew, I'll sell Sam to Aaron, bro.
Can I ask him a question? This is gonna be. Is this your fourth league this is your fourth year in the Europa League, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever won it?
No.
Out of 4 years.
When have they won anything? When was the last time they won anything?
They won the FA Cup.
You remember last year,
Samuel, I've got
a lucky game.
Samuel, I've got a stat for you as well. I've got a stat for you. Every time Chelsea have been in the Europa League, they've won it.
Yeah.
We just win it for fun. We don't even care about it. In fact, we qualified for Champions League and we still went and won it just because we wanted to win it.
No, that's
We won the Europa League unbeaten, man. Like no other team. I think that like we're one of the few teams that actually have won the Europa League unbeaten without losing a game.
No,
Yeah,
Unai
That's
Emery.
class.
Yep.
Chelsea are just top
Unai
draw,
Emery.
mate. Arsenal are banter FC.
Okay,
You know-
The Europa League is just crap. It's not a real league.
With the,
You know the meme of the girl on the sofa and the 8 men around her? That's Samuel right now with you lot.
Yeah.
You know?
He's in
Oh, no.
He walked into a Chelsea.
That's why I put him
hive,
in the
man.
middle. Yeah, he's in the middle of the herd.
Samuel,
Okay, man, I got you.
in that FA Cup final, we had Zuma playing, we had Lampard as manager, we had Caballero in goal. There's so many things that have to come into consideration when talking about that game.
Yeah.
For a foul on him, man. That's like
Exactly.
Jesus, man.
And listen, everything looks bad with hindsight.
Boys,
So, that's to say.
we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it. Yeah, these 2 hours we've been on, man. It's meant to be an hour show, and it's turned into 2.
It's
But
not
yeah,
long
what a
enough,
great
Jem.
show
It's
again.
not long enough, mate.
Ah, I promise you one day we'll do a 4-hour show. But yeah, let's do predictions. Let's do predictions before we shoot off. Alex, you've already done yours, haven't you? Well, we've already done.
1-1.
Alex has already done it.
Let's
go to Kai.
2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. Goal scorers?
And that's for me, man. You know how optimistic I am, right?
Fair enough.
2-0 goal of Werner and who else was there? Werner and Pulisic. I'm calling it.
Werner and Pulisic. Lovely, jubbly. Yeah, it could be possible. You never know, Kai. Real Chris, what you saying?
I believe it would be 1-1 or 2-1 to us. I believe it would be a tough game, but I believe we maybe can edge it, but yeah, it could be a 1-1.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Samuel, even though you don't support Chelsea, what are you saying?
I'm saying 1-1. I'll see. Let's see. Giroud will score in the 12th minute from a corner, and then 85th minute, Alonso Manes gives away a penalty. Suarez scores a penalty. 1-1.
Lovely. Alex, what are you saying? Alex, CFC, Alex.
Yeah.
CFC, Alex.
Well, me?
Yes.
Oh, I've already said it before, but 1-1.
Oh, sorry, man. 1-1, yeah? Yeah, 1-1. All right, bro. All right, Will?
Do you know what? I said 1-1 before, but let's change it. We're going to win 3-1. We're going to win 3-1. We're going to win 3-1. Jorginho
Will.
That means we're gonna lose, man. Because Will was optimistic. Will was pessimistic.
Yeah, every time Will says it, we lose. I know. I've noticed.
I don't. You know
true,
what? I think 3-1. We might shock everyone. You know, we might just shock everyone. But if it's going to be that sort of game, 3-1's possible. I think I'm going to play it a bit more safe and say 2-1. I think Atletico will score because just our mistakes that we make, and I think Odoi. Given that he's likely to start, I fancy Odoi to get a goal. I just think it will. I think he's got a point to prove. Yeah.
It's well. At the end of the day, at least
and
we've got something to look forward to tomorrow.
I'm excited. Yeah, I just want to watch a good game of football. That's it.
Not that guy.
Danish Maldini.
Zuma. Will. Elvis one says if Zuma plays tomorrow, we're winning 2-0.
Yeah,
just wanted to tell you that as well.
That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah, it's true. It's true. If Zuma plays, I might as well not watch. I'm not even joking.
Hang on. You never know.
They're going to be dirty.
Kia's in the house. Hey, Kia.
Who's Kia, man? Oh, he means Kai, yeah?
Yeah, what, the car?
Girl, you need to get your eyes checked, man. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Your phone is not on point.
Listen, just watch out for Suarez. That's all I'm going to say.
It's 3 letters, man. How can you fuck up 3 letters?
Like, do you know what, Kai? I have the same fucking problem. People call me, they spell my name J-I-M and it's Gem, G-E-M. Like, well, how hard is it? I'm not Jim, I'm Gem, man. Like, G-E-M. Like, what is wrong with people, man? It's not hard.
Jen, G-E-M.
You know, does my head in. Do you know what I mean? It's like the easiest name you're ever going to... You know when you're talking to like someone on the phone that you don't know, it might be a salesman, like, what's your name? And you're like, Jim. They're like, okay, Jim. No, it's Gem. I just said Gem and you're saying Jim to me down the phone, bro.
And when they don't use a capital for the start of your name, that really irritates me, man.
Andrew, don't even start it, mate. Don't even start it. All right. Let's quickly do some shout outs before we go. Euro Expert, where can they find you, my bro?
Thanks, Jim. You can find me on Twitter at EuroExpert. sorry, Joe. You find me at Twitter at EuroExpert, and you'll find everyone in there. Any Manchester City fans in the comments, all 5 of you can catch me on Manchester City Fan TV to preview the Gladbach game on Wednesday. And but yeah, been a great show, guys.
After Alex said that, there's gonna be a statement saying Alex isn't on the show anymore.
Yeah. People, Kai, shout out your channel, bro.
Yeah, you can find me at No Filter Football KH. You can find Will in there as well. You know, he does thumbnails for me, and yeah, we do reactions, weekly Chelsea shows. What else are we doing, Will? I forgot.
We've got a variety of new shows coming soon. So yeah.
Good. Chris?
You can find me at Twitter at Real Chris 50, spreading fake rumors about Kai.
Wait, are you? Which rumors?
Pardon?
Which rumors?
Oh no, he's saying that you like Rice.
Like Rice? No.
Yeah, some people sound like they believe in it.
Not the food or the player, man.
No, what was the other point you made, Chris, today about Kai? And I was shocked. Not Rice. It was something else. What? I can't remember now.
What? I don't think I said anything else but Rice.
I'm sure they were saying.
I don't think so.
Samuel, what are you saying, man?
EGTV Gal on YouTube, and tomorrow morning, the Arsenal show being uploaded on the terrace. It's the first time I've ever been on a rant, so stay tuned for that tomorrow morning. Yeah.
There's a rant. I'm gonna react to it, man. It's gonna be good. There's gonna be some dead.
No, you know what? I was late to the show. I was half an hour late to the show, half an hour late to the recording, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go on and Bellerin right now.
Bro, I did a reaction to one of Igal's
I saw that one.
One of the worst shows I've ever made, man. So next time I'm doing a reaction to Igal, I'm gonna watch it till the end, man, to see if it's worth it or not.
Alex, CFC Alex, where are you, my man?
Yeah, guys, big up to you, Jem. Even Alex, shout out to GNA TV. Guys, go and also follow Kai's and Will's channel. That channel's 2 jokes, man. That channel's too funny, man. And I've got Twitter, just Alex Repeto 99. But yeah, nothing else to say. But thank you for having me on.
No worries, Will.
You can find me on Kai's channel. We do a lot of shows on there. And you can also find me on the First 11 every Tuesday on the Next Generation Football.
Wicked. Johnny,
I've got at Johnny Burner account. That's my Twitter, and then I've got at MM19 Hive. That's for all you Mount fans. If you're a proper Mount fan, come and follow the Hive.
Wait, Mount fans? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, bro, come on.
Got Mount Hive, bro.
How many followers do you have?
Mount Hive. I'm only following 3. That's Mount, his dad, and Chelsea. That's it. So no one's getting a follow back. Come and support.
That's only 3 you're following, man.
Yeah, man. We got 167, I think, follows at the minute. It's growing every day. So
can I say something?
All of them supporting the salt and pepper of Chelsea Football Club, man.
Johnny, you know what? Whenever he speaks, that Chelsea fan, that fan called Tony. That's that some Chelsea fan called Tony from Blues Fans TV. I think you're him, aren't you?
Nah, man, I'm not him. I'm none of them lot. I'm my own man.
Boys.
Wait,
we are going to finish, but someone wanted to come in and say something very quickly before he goes. It's man like Igal. Igal is in the house.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood. Kai, I'm gonna tell you something. You know what? Frank Lampard got sacked. Your club is looking better. Jem, your club's looking better. And I'm gonna be the first one to say this to you guys. Chelsea Football Club is gonna finish second in the league.
You're jinxing it.
Second.
No,
yeah,
That's it.
guys
We're
are
getting
finishing
relegated. We're
second
getting relegated, man. That's it.
No, you guys are finishing second in the league behind Manchester
We're
City.
getting relegated, man. That's it. No more Champions League for us for the next 10 years.
Guaranteed top four finish. And Kai,
think
the
Liverpool
reason why I call you Kia is because you
What's up,
call
bro?
my channel Egg TV, so I'm gonna call you Kia from now on.
Yeah, that's the name of a car, man.
Wait, but how am I supposed to know that's EGTV? There's no dot between the E and G, so I just read it Egg TV, man. That's on you.
It's in the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Do you know what? For someone who speaks from Banter FC, they actually talk some sense these days. You know, you talk well, Gal, about Chelsea. You know what you're talking about. You should come and support your team.
Johnny.
You should come and support your team, man.
Johnny, he doesn't. Do you know why? This is why he actually don't, because he does stuff like this.
Is there anything about Burnley this weekend that makes you worried or concerned about them getting points against you?
Why would I be worried about Burnley? You know what I love about that?
Listen.
It's how he
If you
takes his
actually
top
play
off.
the full clip, listen. If you actually play the full clip, I said, why would we be worried about Burnley? We should be worried about ourselves. And the truth is, we conceded the goal ourselves.
Tim's killing it.
Igal, are you making a reaction tomorrow? Should I be watching? Maybe I'll make a reaction for the rant.
Igal, I've got your question.
So we've got Jim, Kia, and Egg TV.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. When did I call you Jim?
No, everyone's no. I was saying the story earlier. Cut a long story short, was talking about saying people keep calling me Jim. When I say my name's Jim, people call me Jim. I'm like, it's not hard. It's 3 letters.
Who does that? Who does that, Jim?
Jim. I'm sorry for taking up too much of your time. You guys have a good night, okay?
What'd you say, Gal?
You guys have a good night, man. You guys have a good night.
No, we're done.
Before you go.
Rush your team to bed, guys.
Do you think you'll get into the final?
Bro, one round at a time. First, let's go past Benfica, then we'll talk about.
Yeah, if you get past them. If
we get past Benfica, then we have to see who we draw the next round. How am I going to say we're going to a final? I don't even know the roadmap.
Crazy if Spurs Arsenal final, man. That would be a good final, man.
What are you talking about? It's like me asking you, if you get past Athletico, do you think you're going to go to the final of the Champions League? You don't know that.
I believe we can. If we get past them.
I'm not even going to say you're deluded. I'm just going to say you can't predict the future.
No,
if you win the Champions League,
anyway,
the Arsenal, man, officially.
If you win the Champions League, Kai, if this Chelsea team win the Champions League, I'll come on stream painted blue, fully painted.
You gotta wear a Chelsea shirt. You gotta wear a Chelsea shirt.
Forget about wearing a Chelsea shirt. I'll paint myself blue.
Fully blue.
With a Chelsea sign. You gotta have a Chelsea sign.
Somebody record this. Somebody cut this, man.
I'm
gonna clip it. Johnny,
even Sam.
I'm gonna clip it to you, Jem, and I'll send
Listen, I'll do something worse. If Chelsea win the Champions League, I'll twerk on camera.
You already do that.
Anyway, boys, thank you very, very much for this episode.
Thank you, Jem.
Great as always. Please smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new here. The description below is mine. Add Sophia Alam's links. We've got a Discord channel there as well. We're GNA TV. People, take care of yourselves. See you again very soon. Peace.
It's like he's playtime when it's free time.